Now somebody decides to phone me. All right, over to the
Is
main
that a
cam.
ringer for a phone?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I got a message or something all of a sudden. Actually, you know what it was? It was the Twitch notification. So being the fabulous game master that I am, I'm going to put my phone on airplane mode, so that doesn't happen again. And yeah, welcome to Sunday Gaming Group. Finally, I get a DM for Dave, the Digital Dungeon Master. Look at me go.
It's about time, Gary.
It is about time.
I think this means that you've made it, right?
Although I figured we would probably use the awesome Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop program with the awesome ICRPG rule set that we have. The new ICRPG rule set.
Buddy, I am so low rent, you're about to find out how low rent I am. Welcome, one.
This looks
welcome
good, though,
all.
Gary. Thanks for putting this together.
I think you're going to be impressed. It's going to be a different...
Oh my god, are we in the holodeck?
Yes, we are.
Oh my god. Sorry,
Right?
I'll shut up.
I could have actually, I'm sure I can find like space that would probably be a little more relevant to what we're going to play. But we are playing ICRPG. We're going to run a little adventure called Last Flight of the Red Sword. We lost Dave. It's a good thing that I just encapsulated the box into the deal. Well, your video's gone for... Oh, no, we lost Andrew. You just moved.
Andrew.
Andrew's like, F this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he was crying. I saw him on camera. He started crying, and then he just hung up.
And that was it for him. Okay.
No, I just...
Or he needed more macaroni salad.
Let's see. First off, there's a couple things that I need to go over with your characters. So we're going to start with Stace. Stace, you are playing this character right here. Your name is H2O. I'm going to make him a little bit bigger so that everybody can see that he is actually a hot water tank.
Wait. His name's H2O?
H2O.
What are you talking about?
Oh, brother. You are quite literally an old salvaged tank from the planet Rust. You came out of like an old junkyard. It's an intergalactic junkyard kind of thing, maybe millennia ago. Time doesn't really have any relevance in your life because of where you're at, and I'll explain that as the game progresses. As far as your character goes, if you all take a look at your character sheets, how ICRPG works is very simple. You've got your core D&D, strength, intelligence, dexterity, wisdom. You get 6 points to put into your character sheet. I've already pre-generated your character sheet, so you'll see that you'll have, like, for example, tank has 2 points into strength, 2 points into constitution, and then I put 2 points into your armor class. Everybody starts with a base armor class of 10. You have, Stace, you have 6 points into your armor, so that gives you a total armor class of 16. You also start...
Suck it, losers.
...with an extra, a heart. 1 heart is 10 hit points, so you start with 20. You'll notice that there is
100 hearts. Thank you, Gary.
Goes up to it goes up to 5 hearts is essentially where he caps it out. You can carry 10 things and you can equip 10 things. Equipped things are basically like your magic items or things that you attach to yourself or whatever. Carried things would be your weapons. You could just throw them on the ground and pick up a different weapon, no problem. There's 2 types of rolls, abilities and effort. So you can make attempt. You can make an attempt to do whatever, and just like Dungeons and Dragons, if you want to try and notice a thing, it's based off wisdom. It's your perception, just like D&D kind of a deal. If you're going to shoot a missile, it goes off your dexterity score. If you're going to swing a sword, it goes off your strength. Damage is across the board. You'll see it in the middle section. Basic, weapon, magic, and ultimate. There's 4 types of damage. Essentially, there's 2. In 3rd edition, which we're not going to be playing. This is 2nd edition. We just have... your basic, which is if you punch a thing with your hand, that is doing a thing without a tool. Your weapon tool, so if you have thieves' tools, you get a D6, or any weapon that you do, which is guns, doesn't matter what it is. Guns, weapons, everything just is a straight D6. If you're casting magic and you're doing damage, or effort, again, is a straight D8, doesn't matter what the spell is. And then finally, if you roll a natural 20... while you're attempting to do a thing, you get to add the ultimate dice, which is a D12. Your character, Stace, has a name. You're a tank class. Basically your mech. Your sort of ability is that if you get blowed up or exploded or torn apart, you can be put back together. Somebody might be able to do that.
Hee-haw!
Yeah, but
He all blowed up.
you have a cool feature. So you have a weapon kit, which gives you +2 to your weapon effort. You're going to determine what you want to put that on. So it's your choice to either attach it to your Duranium blade or your blast rifle. This is just a little bit of customization for you. And then lastly, you have what's called a force shield module, which means any damage that I do to you that is below 4 gets ignored. Now just remember that if I'm rolling a weapon damage like a sword, I'm only rolling a d6. Right? So there's
it's like soak. Right?
There's a very good chance that your force shield module will pop up. It makes you a kick-ass tank. If at any point you want to take a moment to do what's called a recovery, you make a constitution check, and then you add 1 hit point plus your constitution. So your constitution is at 2. Anybody can do this, not just you. That will give you 3 hit points back, and it's basically you just taking a minute to sort of catch your breath. That's how it's sort of portrayed in game. But that's your cool deal. You have this force shield module. You're kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Immortal, because you are just
awesome.
a machine, right? You're just a tank kind of a thing. It's essentially what you are. You're a hot water tank.
Hey, quick question before you originally started to say, here's what your character looks like, but I do not see a picture of my character.
This.
I'm getting a lot of corruption messages on the workshop update.
On the workshop update?
Don't worry about it. Just, is there, okay, I see him. All right, perfect.
Yeah, your big ass miniature.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nobody decided to take red, and we have Andrew. Andrew, you are playing the orange gunner. So essentially, you're a reptoid. You're like an alien lizard man kind of race. I put most of your points into dexterity, and then I put the rest of your points, the other 3 points, into weapon tool damage, because the premise of your character is you're just a shooter, right? You're all about ranged DPS. You have a weapons kit that you can apply to any one of these 3 weapons, which is the blast pistol, the Gauss launcher, or the particle gun. On this little sheet over here, this little note card, it tells you what the guns do. The particle gun, the Gauss launcher, and the blast pistol. You also have a supplies pack, and you're a reptoid. So you have heat vision, and you can walk on any surface. So you can climb walls and do all sorts of shit. The cool part about your character is it comes with a burst fire unit. I'm going to have to type in burst fire unit and check out what it does. I thought I wrote it down. Burst fire unit. So choose one weapon and modify it. On a hit, you roll effort 3 times and distribute between targets as desired. So you apply this burst fire unit to a weapon. If you shoot and you successfully hit, you roll damage 3 times, and it just sort of spreads out like buckshot.
Okay, cool.
Right?
So you can cling to any surface, Andrew.
Yep.
Including the surface tension of water.
Nice.
Maybe. I maybe. That's surface tension and surface. I don't know if they're the same thing.
The surface. Water is the surface. So. Yeah.
Belle, you can put in your character name, call him whatever you want. You are this little character right here.
First, how do I get my character sheet where I can look at it?
Oh, you can't see it for some reason? Oh.
No, I mean, I can see a tabletop, but I can't get to the sheet itself.
Okay, let me
If you mouse over it and hold the left Alt, it'll pop up for you.
Yeah, W, A, S, and D will move you around. If you right-click while you're doing one of those movements and move your mouse around, do you have are you using a Mac or something?
No.
Okay.
It's a Commodore 64, I think.
Okay. These are... It's standard sort of first game shooter movements to get around in sort of inside a tabletop simulator. If you right click the mouse, you can move around. But W, A, S, and D will move you around the table. And then you can use the arrow keys as well to sort of like go up and down if you're having issues with your mouse. Once you guys get yourself situated over top of your character sheet, if you hit Control and 1, it will save that camera position. So it doesn't matter where you go on the table, Shift and 1 brings you back to your character sheet. That's an easy way to sort of get around so you're not navigating all over the table all the time. Control 1 sets the camera view, Shift 1 will return you to that view, and I think you can have up to 3 camera views. So before you leave where you're at, Control 2, and then Shift gets you back. Your character is, you got it? Oh, there you are. Okay. So if you just choose a view that you can see your character sheet on and then hit Control-1, Shift-1 will always take you back to that view where you can see. You're playing a ghost. You're also a reptoid. The ghost class is like the class that you like
we
to
have
play.
2 reptoids in this game? That blows.
We do. And you are being the ghost class. Uh-oh, you're typing in the class name instead of the... but that's okay.
Yeah, I can't see the paper at all.
Let's see. If I do this and lift it up a little bit.
There's no way of clicking on the paper to bring it up bigger.
You can
Gary,
mouse over it and hit Alt.
Keep in mind she doesn't have a monitor, so she just prints it out every 15 seconds on her printer.
Is that what's happening right now?
Belle, are you taking your mouse and hovering it over the character sheet and just hitting the left alt button? Because I had a problem with that too, and then once I heard Gary say that, the sheet comes up.
Well, actually, Worm said that a few times, but whatever, Gary, whatever.
Man, somehow I unlocked the thing here. Look, my table's going sideways.
The table moved.
What are you guys doing to me here? Nobody should be able to unlock a thing. Wait a second. All right.
Oh, I logged in as admin. Should I?
We're gonna do a quick reset on this sucker. You guys can redo your stuff. There we go. Okay. As soon as this reloads, might have somehow unlocked it. Belle, we'll figure out how to get you over to your character sheet. If not, I'll keep an eye on it. The gist of your character is you're essentially you're the thief class. You have a stealth module on your character. In order to activate your stealth module and go invisible, you just have to make a successful dexterity check, and you just disappear. And then as soon as you attack somebody or touch somebody, you reappear.
So is it like invisibility or is it like camouflage, like Predator style?
I'm not sure. Does she have an EVAC? No, it's just Predator style kind of a thing. She just sort of disappears. You have an energy bow, an energy blade, and 2 energy daggers, and you have trapper's gear. So if you want to set traps up for people, you can do that. And then, of course, you have thieves' tools, and you have like special dexterous boots. And then your gimmick is to go invisible and hide and sort of pop out and do damage. Nobody took green, so we're over to Super Dave. Are you ready for this, Dave?
I really like my character sheet, Gary. I like the Holy Avenger plus 22 that I have. The Holy Plate plus 14. This is amazing, Gary. Thanks.
Okay. That's cool. I'm glad you like it. This is what this was all about. So, can you see your little character, Dave, here? Your little Jawa guy? I'm going to make him a little bit bigger, right?
It's amazing. Yeah.
All right. So that's your character.
Oh, if you were only a woman, I would... Yeah.
Oh, now it matters if he's a woman? Jeez.
Bring this over here.
Really picky there, Dave. Gee, many Christmas.
Right?
I'm just going to scroll back through this book here until we get to the Zurin or the Zil class. Where are we at? We got a ways to go. So the gist
I like
of
how I can hold the Alt button down and just watch you just zip through the pages, Gary. It's awesome.
you can import PDFs into this. So if you've got PDFs and shit like that, you can bring them in. So this is the actual book. We need to get back to about page 20-something. Your class is called the Zil. And your entire body, Dave, is made up of...
muscle.
Imagine dragon...
Like in real life.
Really small dragon scales. Do you know what I mean? You're like little diamond shape, crystalline body scales. Your class is such a weird race that people don't even really know where you come from. They don't understand your whole deal. But at some point in your past, you were on a planet where you saw this little Jawa guy and you're like, hey, this guy looks cool. So you started mimicking him. Here we go.
Yeah.
You'll see down on the bottom here, it says these creatures use bio-generated microgravity fields to realign your chitinous body components. It's debated,
why didn't you just say that to begin with instead of, that makes much more sense. Thanks.
It's debated if they are even actual life forms or odd cosmic phenomenon. Little is known of your kind, as they have little in common with other cultures. You're going to get a bonus to Constitution. You are immune to the vacuum of space, and you get plus 1 to your natural
space. I just thought it was a standard
like
vacuum.
This mimics me in real life, Gary. I'm happy.
So the cool part is that you can realign the way that you look into different things. You're kind of like a shapeshifter, but the premise of your entire body is that you're just you're composed of little black looking triangle scale kind of components that just sort of blend together to make a shape. That makes sense? So if you wanted to extend your arm out
it's
really
like
long,
nanoparticles, like a flock of particles.
right, is essentially what you are. You spent some time on this planet, this Zurin planet. That is why your class is Zurin. They come from the planet Zurin, where you learned to be at one. So you're like the Gandhi of space. In doing so,
Hunger strike. Roll for hunger strike.
The magic and mystical ways of the planets or of the universe. And so you are right here. Now, how I like to roll, Dave, you're going to really like this. You see this list of wisdom spells?
I get 10 of each cast today of those, right?
No, sir. You can cast any one of these spells that you want. We're going to use a little skill called Dynamic Dice. And what that does is every time you roll, or every time you use your magic, you're going to flip a die. I believe it's a D4. I'm going to have to look, but I'm pretty sure it's a D4. So you set it at 1, you cast a spell, you turn it to 2. You cast a spell, you turn it to 3. And when you hit 4, you have to make a wisdom check against the room difficulty number. If you succeed, you just reset the dice. If you fail, you roll it, and that's how many rounds your body is no longer attuned to the spiritual world of the universe. Make sense? Pretty straightforward. Okay, you also have these very cool robes that come with your kind. They're called Zurin Robes. And the gist of it is that you can portal yourself. Your robes are like Doctor Strange. That's the kind of robes that you wear. And so what happens is it allows you to sort of instantly portal yourself once per turn in front of somebody, and your robe will absorb the damage. Does that make sense? They're Zurin Robes.
Yeah.
Energy shield. Oh, you also have an energy shield on your body that pops up. So if anybody tries to shoot you with like a missile weapon, this energy shield will pop up and sort of take the damage.
Does it? I think I read that it shoots it back at the target for an automatic hit and quadruple damage, right?
Absolutely does not.
Okay. That's not so dynamic with the dice there, then.
Just remember,
I thought it was going to be dynamic.
Control 1, Shift 1. I'm not sure what Control F. Let's see what page dynamic dice are on so that I can bring it up for you guys. Because you're all going to be using dynamic dice.
I won't. I refuse to use dice at all during this game.
Okay, that is fantastic.
I'm just going to yell out a number.
Just make sure it's random, okay?
Yeah, I will. Don't worry about it.
What do we
I'll roll a dice internally, and then I'll just, hear at my desk.
I'm going to take this. I'm going to expand it in the middle of the table so that everybody can see it. Now, depending on your class, dog pile is for Stace because that's the tank. So the tank type characters take a lot of damage. You're going to place a D4 in your character sheet. Every time you take damage on consecutive turns, so one round you take damage, the next round you take damage, you get to switch the die up. When it reaches a 4, you can make a Constitution check. And if you're successful, you heal 4 points. It's called the dog pile dynamic dice. Dave, you're going under Spellburn. Spellcasters work because there's no number of spells you can cast. There's no power points. There's none of that shit. You are literally like free to cast whatever you want. So all you got to do is just cast your spell, flip your dice. When it gets to a 4, place one up on the character sheet. When it gets to a 4, you got to make an intelligence. It doesn't matter what you cast. If you hit a 4, you roll your wisdom. If you succeed, you just reset the die. Battle Fury is going to apply to the other 2, which are melee classes. So if you miss, you take a D6. Every time you miss, you increase the die by 1, and then that number gets added to the D20 on your next battle. So as soon as you successfully hit, you just reset that dice. Okay, straightforward. Lastly, let's shrink this down a little bit. Ooh, as far as the game table goes, these big things in front of you are your dice. You can press them multiple times really fast, and it will throw the dice up in the air. The dice land. It tells you what you rolled. It tells me who rolled it. They're color-coded. They auto-disappear by themselves, so there's no farting around. It's very straightforward. You can roll as many as you like. Generally, we're going to be using the D20s. They go in order of landing, so even if you press them twice, we can take the first one because it'll be sort of the first one that counts. Now, I need to go to... let's put this back to the wisdom spells somewhere so Dave can see what he's got, because Dave's got a lot of frickin' abilities. There you go, bud. I'm going to put this right here on your blue character sheet.
Big scary.
Your choice as to how you roll dice. If you want to pick the dice up, they're color-coded. I can create new ones. You can throw them on the table. Right? This is what the whole point of this is. Tabletop Simulator just simulates a 3D environment with a table. We mouse over it. It says that Dave rolled a 6. All your dice are color-coded, so it's your choice. However you feel like you want to roll. Pressing the buttons auto-clean stuff up.
Can I do it by flipping the table?
No, I've turned flip off so that nobody can flip the table. Now, like I said before we even started playing this, I chose not to describe the rules of the game because they're just that simple. We are going to immediately get into Last Flight of the Red Sword. Which is going to be this map here. Kaboosh, kaboosh.
I can cast any of these spells at my level, Gary?
Fuck yes, sir. There is no level restrictions. There's nothing. There's no...
It's pretty cool.
Well, you'll see, because when you start casting some of these cool things, like grow 5 times, it becomes kind of cool. Yeah, you can
It's
cast
just
Healing
like real
Nova.
life, Dave.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet and pretty awesome. Okay, so you will see the center of the table, everything hopefully loaded up. I have it set up, and you'll see in the middle of the table here, we have the big old warp shell, which is this thing here. I'm going to spooch this off to the side, and I'm going to hit the big. Oh, maybe that's as big as it goes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to teach you the rules as we go because there really are none. It's very simple. Like I said, we go around the table. So I'm going to start with everybody has their character names. Who's playing? Andrew, did you name your character?
I did. Jimmy
Okay.
Bobby Ray Duncan.
Okay. Here's your character. We'll just leave that. I'll put that up in a second. All right. So.
He's from Alabama.
Damn straight. We're off to the races. H2O. You.
Acknowledged.
Excuse me. You see the visual array of whatever kind of spectrogram visual cortex thing that you have, because you are a machine-like kind of a fella, sort of powers up. You find yourself in a tube, and it doesn't take you very long for your computer to reboot into to bring up your memory cortex and realize that you're in a familiar environment. The lights outside of the shell that you are in, there's a window in front of you. And you can hear the noises of these hoses popping off. Psh, 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 psh. The lights outside of the shell that you're in sort of slowly are becoming more and more bright. And lastly, you see the hinge of the door crack open. Psh. The area fills up with steam a little bit as it sort of exhausts itself. And just as you're about to step out, you can sort of tell that you're manacled into wherever it is that you're at. Your cortex comes in and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm in stasis. You're familiar with this because this has happened so many times before. Just before the manacles let go, you can feel some sort of weird electrical boost that pumps through your veins, sort of supercharging you a little bit. Some of your circuits, you're infused with like nanobites and stuff like that make you sort of feel a little more robust and invigorated and, alive as far as you could be mechanically. What's happening right now is I'm going to give you 1 extra heart, which gives you 1 extra hit point. So I'm going to knock your health up to 30. As the door opens and this electrical fluid gets sort of pumped into your veins, your cables, your cords, you feel a touch invigorated, and you step out into a very dimly lit, blank sort of slate. In front of you is this Zill-like black chitinous floor. There's a wall ahead of you that is made of the same sort of material, this really dark, hard duranium metal. You're familiar with it. You know what this stuff is, right? You look around for a second. You're like, okay, I'm on the warp shell, or I'm on your ship called the warp shell. This has happened many times before. You think back to your past about where you came from, and you used to be just a guy on this planet Rust before your crew showed up one day and did a thing. And somehow you ended up on this ship, and you've been here for you don't know how long. Like, time is not a thing that is linear for you anymore. Your time sort of becomes, you just basically come to life essentially whenever the warp shell needs you to. And here it is again calling you out. As you step out of your shell and look around, again you're in this blank ship. You have an idea how to operate it. You can call forth things from the ship. Like, you just call out and you can say, like, command center. And in front of you would appear out of the ground, it would just sort of build itself like it's being built from nanobots. It would appear, and you would have a command screen, or you can tell it to, like, open the windows, kind of a thing. As you're looking around, all of the other, what do you call them? All of the other, like, incubation pods or sleep pods, hyperbaric chambers, they all are slowly, one by one, coming online. Yours just happened to be first. So you're standing on the deck of this warp shell, looking around, not even actually quite sure as to what purpose you're serving in this particular mission. You just know that the ship has dropped you off somewhere for a reason. And then I'm going to put it over to you. You blink a little bit, as much as a robot does, and what do you do?
Well, I think what I'll do is, first of all, let me just ask you a quick question. I think I might have accidentally erased something on my character sheet.
Okay.
On line 7. Just double check that. I thought he had a missile weapon. I might have. But
yep.
Anyway. So, I think what I'm going to do is, so I'm like this giant, like a water heater, rumbling and sweating a little bit of moisture out. So I'm going to walk to the first pod that's opening other than mine, like the next one. And I'm going to get like a towel and wait for somebody to come out of that pod. And then I'm going to give them like a towel, like so they can towel off as they wake up.
Okay. You can ask the ship for a towel.
Yeah, and I'll get like it'll be made out of this nanobot material.
Sure.
So I'll ship, res me up some towels. I'll get like a stack of towels.
Okay.
And then I'll go to the first person that wakes up, and I'm gonna fluff them, and then I'm gonna hand them a towel, and I'll just say, "Welcome, greetings, traveler, fellow traveler, welcome."
All right. So the next pod.
So whoever that's gonna be.
The next pod in order of progression is going to be orange, which is you happen to know. So you tell the ship, you're like, hey, ship, give me some towels. As you make your way over to the next pod, in sort of the wall between the two pods, not so much a transporter, but like a food regeneration machine. Like what do they call that in Star Wars? A little cave appears in the wall. Some lights flare up, bloop bloop bloop, and then suddenly there's just towels that appear there. They've been generated for you by the ship. You make your way over to what you know to be...
in Star Trek, they call it a replicator.
Right.
I don't know what they call it in Star Wars.
It's very similar to that, right? There's kind of like a replicator thing just appears in the wall because you're just standing there. It's near you. And you grab a bunch of fresh towels out of there, and you head over to the next little incubator kind of a deal that you're at there. Now...
So what did you say the name of this ship was? Because these towels will have to be monogrammed with the name
they just
of the
say
ship.
WS on them.
Yeah, big old WS, better than WC, which means water closet. So big old WS on it. And then as I hand the first person the towel, I'll say, these towels are complimentary. You can take one if you'd like.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to shoot right over to Jimmy. Same thing with you, Jimmy. You feel like you hear all these hissing and popping noises. You're a little discombobulated being that you're a reptoid. You've got needles and stuff stuck in all of your veins. You're inside this shell. The hissing and popping noises as all of the chambers and cables and cords sort of disconnect from your body are sort of off-putting at first, but you're aware of where you're at. And again, last thing with you, you feel some kind of steroid get pumped into your body. You're not aware that it's that, but it's some kind of nanobot steroid thing that's going to get pumped into you, and it's going to give you a little bit of extra sauce. This is a common thing that happens because the warp shell is basically sending you off into a mission. So you sort of get juiced up a little bit. I would like you to make me a Constitution check, Jimmy Bob Ray Duncan. So you're going to roll the 20, and you're going to add your Constitution bonus, which is 0. So all you got to do
You want me to get your calculator for that?
Press this button over here.
Yeah, that would be really good, actually.
Press the 20-sided die. Add your Constitution bonus, which is 0. And you have to beat the target number, which is over here by Bell. So I've put this gigantic target number right here. I am going to change the target number to 12. And you fail. It's as simple as that. You just have to beat the target number. And
You're
if you
dead.
don't, right. So you step out of this thing. H2O is standing there. He's like, here, have a towel. And you immediately vomit on H2O. There's some kind of black mucus that sort of pukes up out of your veins, splashes on the ground. You almost fall over a little bit, but you manage to grab onto him. You stand up, sort of wipe the ichor off of your long reptilian snout. Fortunately for you, you can grab onto any surface, and so you're sort of just sitting there looking at him. It takes you a couple of minutes to sort of catch your breath and take a look around. But then we're going to throw the scene over to you. So after you sort of, pick yourself up, you look H2O right in the eyes, and it's over to you. What do you do?
I pick out one of the towels and I wipe my snot and snout and all this nastiness off my face and go, a towel. I've been asleep for I don't know how many years. I need the bathroom. And I will go to wherever that happens.
Okay.
And I will drain the main vein, and I will just keep peeing and peeing and peeing. Whew.
All right. Between you
Takes a long time.
and the next stasis pod, the wall fades away. Like, the chitinous scales of the wall, just like the Zill, sort of fold back in on themselves. And it's almost as if the warp shell is creating a bathroom for you right when you had set it. And you can walk in there and you can relieve yourself.
It's like a racehorse, man.
Yes.
Whoa. It's a lot.
You know what? I'm going to get you to make me another Constitution check to see if you actually make it to the bathroom or if you piss in your spacesuit. Yeah.
No, probably not.
That's right. You're like, I got to go to the bathroom. You immediately just start vacating the premises. Fortunately, these little nanobot machines come out of the woodwork, and they.
Hey, H2O, I need one of them towels again.
And
I'll hand him a second towel.
You run off into the bathroom. All right, Belle, you're up again. Same thing. Psh, psh, psh. You, the stasis pod opens up. You step out. You hear as you're stepping out of the pod what sounds like reptilian farts and a bit of tinkle, maybe some water hitting the ground. You're kind of taken aback right now. I'm going to get you to do the same thing. Make me a Constitution check to see how well you come out of stasis. 13, so that is a success. You walk out like a champ. You've done this, so many times that you're like no problem. So I'm going to get you to just sort of take over the scene and describe what happens when you come out of your stasis pod and you see Jimmy Bob Duncan J Ray Bob crap in his pants.
I put my hand out for the towel. Thank you. And where have we gotten to?
Oh, sweet. All right. So you say that out loud as you look at H2O, who hands you the towel. And in front of you, the warp shell has these like metallic, again, chitinous things. And one of the windows, you can see out one of the windows now, like the armor of the ship peels back and you see there's like a viewport that you can look out. As you look out this viewport into the darkness of space from your sort of, you don't have to go far, you can like look right out. There's this really strange prismatic light that is coming in from outside. It's like sunlight in that it's warm coming at you, but it's unlike any sun that you've ever seen. It is almost as if the light is every color of the spectrum. You know what I mean? It's sort of like purples and oranges and reds, and it all bathes inside the ship. And what you notice from where you're at is that there is the outline of another ship behind in front of the sun. So as you say this, you're like, where are we? This window opens up and you see this twisted ship outside, outlined in the blackness of or it's outlined in black against the sun, this weird prismatic sun behind it. And you're like, yeah, that's new.
Who are they?
That is exactly what you say.
Have we contacted them? What do they want with us?
As you say, contacted them, in front of you, the ship, sort of like it's reading your mind a little bit, pops up this little display panel in front of you. It grows right up out of the ground, and it has a display on it, and it says communications. It says, visual, this is and that's, and there's a bunch of buttons on it, inventory, storage, and, just different things like that. It's sort of like a command center for the ship. It appears in front of you, but we're going to shoot over to Dave. Old Zilly boy Dave. Have you given your character a name? The character's name's just Dave.
His name is Zilla.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, Zilla.
All right, I'm going to change your name to Zilla. Zilla, same thing happens.
They worship a god called Godzilla.
Right on. Make me a
Yeah, but not Zilla, Xilla, huh?
Okay.
Hmm?
It's an X.
Mind.
X. How do
It's
you
an
spell it?
X-rated character.
Zilla. All right.
Xilla.
Same kind of a deal, Dave. Your stasis pod opens up. You see that everybody's up and about. Bell, what is your character's name again? Did you give yourself a name? Belzard. All right. So you see Belzard standing there at the control panel.
Buzzard.
There's an open window. And same thing happens. All these hoses are sort of coming off your body. This weird, strange fluid is being pumped in at the same time, and then it releases you from your deal. I'm going to get you to do the same thing. Make me a Constitution check, and let's see how glorious an exit you make from your stasis pod.
It's going to be great.
What? Oh, bang on, dude. Plus you get +1 to your Constitution, so that's a 13. So you can describe your cool chitness ass body coming out of this thing, and you can, again, like I said, because you're sort of a shapeshifter, you can build yourself into anything. Now, your most comfortable form is the shape of this creature that you've seen before, this Jawa looking guy here with his little robes on. But that's not to say that you couldn't turn yourself into a ball or a square, or you know what I mean, that kind of a thing. So you exit no problemo. You take a look around, you see the open window, and you hear in the distance the gurgling noises of some reptilian character who is like literally just shitting their guts out, probably like 40 feet away from you around a corner. That's what you awake to.
So I wake up, I pull all of the goo out of my eyes, and I say, "Sir, are we here yet?"
There is again in front of you, a small display of a ship. As you say that, you feel the ship lurch a little bit. You can before the stasis generators kick in. I'm not good with all the sci-fi lingo, but there's whatever kind of equalizers the ship have to keep you guys from feeling inertia. The inertia dampener. See, I figured I could work it out myself. Before the inertia dampeners kick in, you can feel the ship lurch a little bit. Outside, you hear the sound of the umbilicus, which is this. The ship is moving towards this ship that you can see out the window, and it's extending this umbilicus out towards the other ship. As you say that, you can see that the warp shell is trying to connect itself to the ship that's floating out in space. Okay, this is my threats, treats, and timers dice. I'm going to roll this, and when this gets to 1, see it's on 1, so when it comes around, because it's on 1, I'm going to make a thing happen. That is sort of my kick in the pants as a GM. So The warp shell moves its way slowly towards the docking port of this mysterious ship. As you guys are all looking out the window, except for Johnny, Ray Bob, Billy Bob, Joe Bob, he's still in the bathroom evacuating all of his fluids and trying to sort himself.
That's why you don't eat brisket before, going into stasis for 4 years.
Yeah,
All that gumbo.
Might not have been a good thing. Again, the ship is moving very slow. It's slowly cruising in. Nobody controls the ship. This is a thing that you guys know. The ship is sentient. Although childlike in its ability to speak to you, it's never been able to master speech. You know that it's intelligent. It's brought you here for a reason. This ship comes over to this floating ship. The warp shell is docking. It reaches out, and you can hear the clicking noises, click, 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 and this sort of thud, and then the motion of the ship, of the warp shell, it stops for a second, and everything sort of settles for a little
boarded?
bit. No, it's not. You realize that you're not being boarded. What's happening is the warp shell is connecting itself to this ship. I'm going to just quickly go around the table. Actually, I'm not even going to do that. As this is happening, all of you guys are sort of looking out the window. And as you get closer to this gigantic ship floating in space, you can see that something is definitely awry. There doesn't seem to be any life forms in any of the windows. The lights are blinking off and on as if they're being illuminated by sparks. The ship also looks like a towel that was wet that somebody wrung out and then sort of let loose. It looks like it's twisted in a way, but still has maintained its original shape. Maybe it's come under some kind of immense vacuum pressure or something like that. But you can see out of the window that this is a highly damaged ship. There's smoke coming out of certain areas. It looks unsafe and it looks almost abandoned. It doesn't appear to be, anybody in the control rooms as you approach, or it also doesn't look like the engines. Although the engines are warm, there's like a soft sort of glow to the engines. There is no thrust coming through them. The engines were maybe in the process of being fired up, but this is a heavily damaged ship that you guys are connecting to. The warp shell smashes into it, not really smashes, but it connects. The door to the warp shell, the chitinous door sort of opens up, and you can see this long tubular umbilical cord. The outsides are made from like a plastic tube. It's like when you look through this corridor, there's a platform that connects you to what appears to be the exterior shell of this ship that the warp shell is connected to. And there's a long platform with these cross braces, but it's essentially like you're just walking into a plastic shopping cart or a shopping bag. You're not familiar with the high-tech mechanics of this plastic, but you've seen this before. This isn't the first time you've had to use the umbilicus. It's a very thin material, but you know that it's safe. Also, you know that the area ahead of you is filled with air, like breathable air. We're going to put this over to H2O. You can grab all of your gear. And it's pretty obvious that the warp shell wants you to make your way through this corridor and board the ship and find out what's going on.
Okay, so I will. I'll grab my stuff, my deuterium blade, and kind of load up, and then I'll remind everybody, don't forget where you parked, and take some suntan lotion, because sometimes different planets can be, or different locations can burn your skin, especially if you're a reptoid.
Especially if you're a reptoid. Okay, so you're going to make your way through into the umbilicus. That's the game plan. All right, I'm going to take you.
I'm going to slowly plod my way there, all kind of scraping and cranking, like a walking water heater would sound like.
All right, let me move the warp shell sort of off to this general direction. As you walk down the plank, slow and steady, you get to the end of the umbilicus that's attached to the ship, and there's a control pad. There's a data pad there. You look at it for a few moments, and you realize that you're going to need a code to get into this ship.
It's 911.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so you try punching in 911, doot, 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 and nothing happens.
Well, that's because you did
shock him or something like that.
You did 4 doots, And 911's just 3 dudes.
No,
so that's probably what happened. Maybe try again.
The 4th dude was enter.
Okay, got it.
Right? This is probably going to be a little bit past your pay grade, so you're probably going to have to call Bell over to maybe.
So, do we have any kind of communication devices, or is it just
you are 100%
yelling out loud?
What one person knows, the other person knows.
Okay, so I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say, "Does anybody know the code to get in?"
Anybody can respond.
I'm sure I can figure it out.
I'm going to.
I don't think I remember. Nobody said anything about no code about that door.
And I'll say, what is the code? And kind of like look around, waiting for a screen to appear from the ship.
The ship. Before you walk out of the door, the ship pops up with a little display panel on the wall, and it's just a question mark.
Ship don't know neither. I'll gather up my gear and head down the umbilicus as well.
All right. That is not to say that you can't try shooting a hole in this door. You can try and beat it with your Duranium blade, do all sorts of stuff, or you can just wait till Bell comes. I'm gonna write down.
Yeah, I'll just lean up there, focus my monocle eye on it to kind of get a better squint. Oh, it's that number, and then kind of lean back and go. I'll just wait for Bell to get here.
Sounds like there's a code 7.
Alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 3 digits or 4?
Well, you're not sure, but this is what you do have, Bell. Your character, being the thief class, has like a data pad. This thing is attached to your wrist in a very cool fashion. You can access it like you would normally. This will also give you visual on anybody in your party, but what you can hear your party through your sort of interconnected. Do you have a EV? No, you don't have an EVA suit.
Subdermal transponder?
Right. You can all hear each other. You just speak out loud. Everybody can hear you, kind of a thing. But as far as visuals go, you can look on your data pad that's on your wrist, kind of like a Fallout armband kind of a thing. Also, you just punch in like the thieves code, and out pops these long tendril-like fiber optic cables that will just slide right into the exterior alarm.
Press it in.
That's right. What you're going to do is, wait a second, I'm just trying to find, Andrew, is this your character here? You were this guy, right? I just want to make sure I put the right name on the right character.
Yes.
There we go. You are now Jimmy Bobby Ray Duncan. Bell, Bell Zed? How do you want me
to? Yeah, Belzar. Like a bell lizard. And you want me to spell mine out for you? It's an H.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
And then a number 2, and then an O.
And then lastly, we have Zilla with an X, Xilla. At least if I have it on your minis, I can address it a little quicker. Okay, Bell. So you are going to use your thieves tools to reach out inside this thing. Your electronic data pad. Bloop, bloop, bloop. You punch a couple of numbers. These fiber optic tendrils reach out. They penetrate through the outer shell of this keypad that's on the outside, and you find yourself connected to this data pad. At which point you're going to use your thieves tools. You're going to make me a dexterity check because that's what all thieves tools do. And you're going to try and break into this thing while you guys are hanging out inside of this umbilicus.
Okay, so just roll a d20.
Yep, and you see that the target number is over in the corner, so it's a 12. You're going to roll a d20, and then you are going to roll for effort. Okay, so that's d12 plus your dexterity is 5, so that's 17.
There's 5.
Right? Weapon tool is plus 3. So you're going to roll a d6 and add 3 to it, and that is how much effort you've put in this round into opening this lock. So a combined total of 6 points. You know that you're making progress as you look at your data responder, your data pad. Of all of the digits that are on it, you probably now have like 6 of 10. They've all come in, and you're waiting for your data pad to get through the rest of the digits, at which point the door will, that it will open. This isn't your first rodeo. While she's trying to break in, Jimmy Bob Ray Duncan, is there a thing that you're going to do? You walk down this hallway. You know you got a bit of time before she gets this door open.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my my blast pistol.
Okay.
And cock it, make sure it's ready to go, ready to rock and roll, and I'm gonna get ready for shooting if I've got to.
Okay. Did you figure out which one of your weapons you wanted to apply the burst fire unit to?
Blast pistol, yes.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay, fantastic. Also, if you took, did I write anything in the bottom of your character sheet? No, force module. Okay, you're good. So yeah, you're just going to hang out. While you hang out in the corner, this is a thing that we're going to do. You're hanging out in the corner of this umbilicus. You've set yourself up to sort of be looking at this door. You're waiting for it to open. Make me a dexterity check, and if you succeed on this check, I'm going to give you advantage or make your next attempt shooting this gun into this room easy because you're prepared. $11
So
plus
that's
your
with a
dexterity.
+4, so
Excellent.
15 total.
Okay, yeah, you're full on prepared, man. You've set up some scopes, some sights, you've steeled your nerves, you've done a bunch of things, and you're sort of ready and waiting. Zilla, you've grabbed all of your equipment, you've put on your robes, you've formed yourself back into your Jawa-looking personality, and yeah, you're going to start making your way down this umbilicus as well. Is there anything that you want to do while you're waiting for Belzid to crack the code?
Yeah, she's, using her tools to crack the code. I'm just going to very just nonchalantly walk up to the keypad and type in 1, 2, 3, 4 and hit enter.
Okay. I wish there was some kind of luck rolling mechanic that I could just, do a deal. But what I tend to do in these situations is roll me a 20.
All right.
A 2.
That low is good in this game, right?
Nope.
Low is good.
So yeah, you just kind of walk up, you do your little smug bit. You push a bunch of numbers on this thing, and as soon as you press the enter key, you kind of hear this. Bzz, 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 bzz. Belle, you notice on your data pad that 2 of the digits that you did have disappeared, and now you only have 4 of the correct 10.
Maybe you need to try again, Zilla.
Now, threats, treats, and timers. This is where ICRPG gets kind of cool. I got to make a thing happen. It can be good, it can be bad, but in this situation, I'm going to make it bad. So I'm going to roll this dice a bunch of times. Oh man, it landed. Oh, that's not good. It landed on my whatchamacallit. I don't think I have to pack this. It landed back on 1. Belazar, you're looking down at your data pad. You see these 2 numbers disappear. And as soon as that happens, kind of
slink away.
Yeah, Zill, he walks back a little bit, but there seems to be this sort of really weird burst of electricity, not electricity, almost like a huge gravitational wave has rolled across you. It's coming from the direction of this really strange looking sun. And this pulse comes across you, and in doing so, it twists the ship that you're trying to attach this crazy, I'm going to call it the Red Sword because I keep trying to think of names for it, but it twists the ship, and it twists the warp shell in such a way that as the 2 ships twist at opposite ends as this gravitational wave comes over, the umbilicus you're in immediately just starts to crack. All of the pressure sort of it starts coming out of it, and you can see that the warp shell is doing its best to pump in as much air as possible. If you don't crack the code this round, everybody is going to start taking damage except for Zilla, because Zilla is immune.
Doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm a robot.
Vacuum.
Oh, and sorry,
but I'm not immune to the.
Yeah, well, I guess you would be immune to the vacuum of space. Would you decompress? Would you?
Yeah, I think I would fold up.
Right.
So being crunched. But I can breathe, right? Because I don't breathe, so I can still function unless, I would think.
Right. Now, Andrew, does Jimmy Ray Bob, does not have the EVA suit? Who has the suit? Maybe it was on Blip.
We left it in somebody else's pants.
Okay, so it is on Blip. Blip does have the EVA suit. If you had the EVA suit, you would again be able to breathe. It's like a sort of a suit that can handle the confines of space. All right, so that was my turn. We're gonna go back to you, H2O. Yeah, you've seen Zill come up. He pushes some numbers. This wave hits, man. That all of the umbilicus is sort of cracked, and all of the air is dissipating out of these minute cracks from the plastic frame. You're kind of shitting bricks a little bit, but
I think I might jam my deuterium sword into the airlock and try to wedge it open,
Okay.
kind of crack open that outer door.
All right, let's try this a little bit there. So yeah, you sort of feel for some seams. You're peeking around. Stick your sword in there a little bit, and make me a strength check to see how well you do.
Yeah. All right, so to make the strength check, let me just triple check. I'm going to roll my strength is 2, so I'm going to roll the d20 and add 2.
Okay.
There's the d20. You're just going to have to add it with your mind.
Ooh. All right, so you got a whopping 10.
Yeah, that sucks. It's still under the 12.
Yep. So you're going to explain to me. This is as we progress. I'm going to let you guys explain your wins and your losses a little bit more. What happens? That's
well.
Not
I'm a little bit panicked, so I jam the sword in the edge of the door, and I start rocking it back and forth a little bit, and it gives just a tiny bit. And I'm trying to wedge my sword in there more, but it doesn't seem like it's giving way to any amount of leverage that will let me pry the door open.
Sweet. Jimmy, Ray Bob, Joe Bob. You can definitely tell that H2O is struggling. He hasn't found purchase in this door to break it open. You look around in a panic, not quite sure what to do, but you got to do something. What is it that you do?
It's Jimmy, Bob, Ray, Duncan.
Yeah, I'm going to call you.
That's his brother's name.
What I do is I kind of search through the umbilical looking for where it may be stressed or having or a gap that is formed where some of this oxygen is leaning out, and I'll put my big fat lizard hand on one spot and my other hand on another, and my feet I'm all splayed out up on top, and my tail will go to another spot. So I'm trying to cover up as many.
It's like Twister.
Sure.
Exactly. I'm playing a game of Twister on the side of this thing.
Okay,
I'm
fantastic.
trying to cover up as many of those tears as I can reach.
I'm going to get you to make me a dexterity check. On a success, what will happen is you cover up enough of these holes that you will buy yourself another round.
Okay, sounds good. +4, so that's 12.
You just barely managed to meek out your tail onto, the last little. There's still air leaking out, but yeah, you get all 4 onto a spot. And your tail sort of pokes out. Oh, it just stretches out, plugs this tiny little hole. Okay, cool. So you've bought yourself one more round. We're back to Belle. Belle, Belazar is still trying to work your way into this thing. So you're going to make me another dexterity check. Now, you had
cut my eyes first over at Zilla, and don't help.
Do not help. 14, that's a success. So you're going to roll me some effort and add 3 to it. So that is going to be a combined total of 6. Now, you rolled 6 last time, right? So that's a combined total of 12, minus the 2 from Zilla poking into the door. As you screwing around with your thing, you're like, maybe I can help this out a little bit here, and you try and punch in some old codes that you remember from some years past, an old data sequence for an old reptilian cruiser or a Torton cruiser, I should say, that you've seen years ago. You're like, let's see if this old password works, and you sort of throw this information in. And sure as shit, man, you're standing there, you're like, oh, the door slowly starts to open up.
It was your birthday.
Yeah, I'm going to. Everybody can.
It was 4, 3, 2, 1.
It was.
Sorry.
4, 3, 2, 1, not 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say that as the door opens, Jimmy, Ray, Bob, you've gone from your shooting thing to spread out all over the place. The umbilicus, now that the ship is open, puts immense pressure on the tube that you're in. more cracks appear, and you kind of know that you've got very little time to get into the docking bay of this ship. In fact,
sure, yeah, I'll dart out and get into the ship.
Okay, you look back just as you guys enter the this area that you're into, and you can see that the the warp shell is closing and immediately starts retracting. So you're kind of like running down the umbilicus, and you leap into the ship, and then the door. There's a red sort of panic button on the door that somebody can press as you're the last one that makes it in. The four of you sort of pop into the ship, and the door pressurizes behind you, and you feel somewhat safe. Congrats, everybody made it to the first deal. So I got to look up a thing here. I just need 1 second. I think it's
while they do that, I'll go ahead and play some music. I'll do that since we're in the docking bay. I'll play that sitting in the docking bay, waiting for time. Wait, never mind.
Okay, make me a charisma check. And let's
With
see how well. Let's see if people like your song or if they just want to kill you in some fashion.
I did it twice by accident.
We'll just take the first one. Fine.
Well, since I don't have any bonus for charisma, guess that means I'm going to have to just use the pods for my ear.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go Control C. Congratulations, everybody. Nobody's playing red, so we're going to put one down here. What you are getting in front of you is kind of like Savage Worlds Benny. This is called a hero coin. What it allows you to do is add a D12 to any roll, whether it's an attempt or effort. If you don't like the outcome, you can add a D12 to that roll. There still is a chance that you can fail, but yeah, you can spend it at any time. It doesn't matter. For example, if when you were trying to break into this room, you could have used that hero coin as to add on to your effort that would have allowed you to break into this room faster. So I'm going to hand you guys those out. You can spend them at any time. You just like, I'm going to use my hero coin to do a thing. And as the door opens, I got to get back to my other page back here. As the door opens, you guys, well, let me see. I got to do one other thing here. This, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Control C. This room that you've entered into is what appears to be not only a docking bay, but it appears to be like a storage area. This room is just massive. There's some suits along the wall that you can tell are used for the people on this ship. Let me lock those in place so that you can't screw around with them. There's some suits off to the one side that you can see up against this wall over here. These suits allow whatever race is on this ship, which you suspect to be like a turtle kind of race of people called the Tortons. There is a computer data pad over here that has a bunch of keys that you can work on, and then this little area over here seems to be some kind of storage sort of a deal. But this room, the docking bay, is essentially what it is. You can tell by looking at it. There's a shitload of stuff piled in here. There's old crates, old boxes. There's galactic coins and different forms of money from different planets and stuff like that you guys have seen in the past and whatnot. It looks to be basically this room is like a gigantic loot pile. You do not, however, see any aggressive combatants in this room. It seems to be clear. H2O, we're going to put it right back around to you. What are you going to do?
Did you say money?
Yes, there is a ton of money, like piles of coins. Piles of coins, gems, from multiple different worlds that some of them you've seen. There's different currency from different places. There's chests.
Well, I feel like nobody would just leave money sitting around here. So I think I might just walk up to the storage area and start taking a gander, start going through.
All right. Make me a perception check, my friend, mon ami.
Mon ami.
That is going to be
All right, hold
wisdom. All right. You spend a few minutes looking around this area. Well, actually, I'm just going to leave you over there. You're looking through this area, but yeah, you're not having much luck. You're not quite sure how to push the buttons or open the drawers or do any of that kind of stuff. Maybe you need a code. You don't know, but you're like, hey, this looks like a bunch of storage lockers over here that I can't access. While you're
I'm trying to stomp it with my foot,
right?
Trying to open them. That's the
touch
problem.
Physical. While you're farting around with that, we're going to go to Jimmy Bob Ray Duncan. Jaybird.
So,
I'm going to call you that instead.
Yeah. I'm going to come up to these boxes here and start going through them as well.
Okay, make me a wisdom perception check as well. Ooh, sweet. That is going to be a success. You're rifling through these boxes. Roll me a d4. You got a 2. Inside this box, you find this. Looks to be some grub. You don't actually have to tell anybody what it is. Nobody can see it. It's a hidden deal. If you pull it out of the little box that it's up there, so yeah, you find some food. Everybody can sort of take a peek at that and see what's going on. So as you're rummaging through these boxes,
I'm not hiding it from anybody. So yeah, found some stuff to eat.
Yep, you're popping chests. You're looking at, we're pushing piles of stuff apart, and you find some what looks like delicious rations. Maybe perhaps it's the meal that you thought was really good before you went back into stasis. You're like, wow, this is kind of a weird spot to find meals ready to eat in here. Of my favorite.
I've seen that
food.
you just finished puking up all that brisket from before.
I'm hungry.
All right, Belazar, what are you doing while these guys are rummaging through these boxes?
I'm going to come up here and check out the computer to see if there's any information of where people are, or the people that had the ship, or what's going on. Any information it has for me.
Okay, so you can roll like in intelligence investigation, I believe is what it is, something along those lines.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you start poking away at this machine. You're looking at it, and for some reason maybe you're not versed in Torton. Maybe you just can't access this machine. Maybe it's broken. I'm going to let you tell me why you can't access this thing. What goes wrong?
It's a language I have never seen. I am pressing what looks logical. It's just not.
All right. Fantastic. That's going to shoot me over to Super
She
Dave.
was sick that day.
Anybody here?
It echoes in and amongst this gigantic warehouse room. Zilla. Yeah, everybody's
that just happens to be my specialty, ma'am. As I walk over and I say, in college, many, many years ago, I actually took Torta as an elective. So let me see if I can help you with this.
All right. What is your intent, Dave? What are you going to try and access the computer or just look around this machine? What are you doing?
Well, is it written? You said it was written in Torta, right?
It's something that Belazar doesn't understand.
Okay, well, let's see if I can help out. Belle's character. Old Buzzard, is that her name? Buzzard?
Belazar?
The old Buzzard? Just kidding. Belazar. All right, I'm going to see if I can assist Belazar. God. And that would be what, an intelligence check, you said?
You can use, so wisdom is essentially going to be like notice perception. It would fall into that. To access the computers, I'm going to...
right up my alley.
I'm going to say maybe intelligence.
I'm going to see if I can notice something, to see if I can assist.
Okay, sure.
To try to make up for the errors of my ways a couple of minutes prior.
Sure. All right, roll
So
me a d20.
I'll add +3 to this roll.
You sure will. Wow, you're doing really well, Dave. That's almost a 20 there,
That's a
bud.
20.
Okay, so as you walk up and you are sort of looking over Belazar's shoulders as she's sort of haphazardly poking away at this data interface, you're like, hey, what's this? And you reach out and you give it a poke, and up comes this schematic. And what you're looking at is a schematic of this entire ship. It's sort of the outline of this ship, but you notice that, oh shit, I fucking lost my spot. It is like a weird printed schematic diagram that shows what appears to be a massive bomb retrofitted into the nose of the ship. And the schematic that you're looking at is actually a schematic of the ship that you're on. So you're under this distinct impression that the ship that you're on has a massive bomb built into the nose of it. This was a thing that these people were working on, and that's what you can impart as you sort of look at this data pad. You're looking at it.
Doesn't look too good.
Yeah, things are not looking fucking sharp. That's going to put it around to my turn. I'm going to get off of there, you fucking dice, man. All right, so we're going to put that on a 4. I'm going to put this over here. Maybe I need to make this a little bit smaller. I don't want it landing on my... There we go. You can hear, as you're looking at this thing, from outside of this door down here. Oops, I got the... Man, how do I get rid of that? I wanted to hit the tab. From outside of this door down here, you notice another data pad down at the end. It's almost as if you can hear gigantic footsteps. Like, these are like thundering footsteps. It also sounds like a long, large metallic item is being dragged behind it. And then you hear through the door the screech of some kind of gigantic, like, reptilian creature that just lets out this, like, it's almost as if Godzilla is on the other side of the door and just lets out this like just incredibly insane howl that reverberates the entire ship, and then it slowly just disappears off to the right down in this area, and then it fades away. H2O. You did not find a thing, buddy. You've spent multiple minutes looking in here, perusing through this pile of stuff. You hear this gigantic, noise coming from the other door that leads further into the interior of the ship. What do you do?
Well, there's a giant bomb in the nose cone of the ship. There's something ginormous right outside the door. I'm going to go back and ascertain if the umbilical is still available for us to go back through.
Okay. So that's going to make, you're going to pop over here and you're going to take a peek outside. Now, from the inside looking out, let's just say, so you don't have to open the door, there is a one-way glass kind of window that you can look out of. You didn't notice it from the outside. It's only visible from this side. But what you notice is that the warp shell has sort of moved quite a ways away. It's probably off, a couple 100 kilometers off in the distance, out in space, just floating there. You can see the lights flash on the outside of it every once in a while. It's sort of like it's beacon to you to let you know that everything is kosher and cool.
Uh-oh. Bad news, everyone. And I relay the bad news.
So I'm going to say, too, that the umbilicus, for whatever reason, did not retract into it. Like, it took so much damage that it is dangling off and open, although the door to the ship seems to be sealed and everything seems to be okay. All right, you relay the bad news. Jimmy, Bobby, Ray, Duncan.
Jaybird.
Jaybird.
I'm going to come up to this panel and see if there's a way just to open the door.
There is a keypad, just like the one on the exterior of the ship. There is also a little red button on the wall over here, but you're not quite sure what it does.
I'll go over and push that button.
I'll take
Sounds like
choice
something
two,
that
please.
Zilla would do.
All right.
I mean, Belle was doing her thing, and he just walked over and goes, "Hey, wait a minute! Just do this." Pushes her out of the way. See, I think we already know who the dick.
No, I offered assistance. I offered assistance.
Yeah.
He's trying to help,
To make up for what he did already.
Actually, lower the light should be a little bit dimmer to sort of accentuate the lighting of the ship. I forgot to do that. Okay, so you go over and you press this red button. In doing so, the door that is over by H2O, the locks on it just go off. You can hear them, H2O, slide into the walls as all of them sort of go into lockdown. Once that happens and that door is locked, all of these panels here that open or lock this door in place, they open up. This piece also, and so you can see now there is a hallway out beyond this area. Out in this direction is this gigantic, long, tubular hallway. The hallway is almost so big and so sort of dimly lit that you can almost not see across it. And it seems to go off to the left and off to the right. You can step out into it, but looking at what you see, there's just basically a long hallway that goes off to the left and off to the right. There doesn't seem to be anybody in the hallway though when you open the door, and you realize that by opening this door, it sealed the back door, but you can now enter the main part of the ship.
All right, come on, guys, and then I will start heading to the right where that noise went.
Okay, well, I'm going to move you right over here. We're going to go over to Belisar. What are you doing?
I'm thinking he's crazy because we just heard something huge go through. Give it time to get away. Let's see what's still in here and find out more about what we're walking into.
You can hang out here. Yep.
Let's see if I can. I'm gonna come over and search some of the crates because that's something I'm.
Yeah, because there's a big bomb at the front of this ship, guys. We got to find out why.
Maybe if you break the crates, you'll find some items in there that'll help. If my playing of video games has been any help in this game.
Yep, you seem to be what appears to be like a giant, you know what I mean? It's like a dragon's hoard. It's full of stuff. You don't know why it's here, but yeah, there's a pile of coins. There's a pile of boxes and imported goods. You can see there's even shipping labels on some of these things that say from planet A to planet B. You don't know why they're here.
I'm going to go through and see if I can find anything that I might like.
All right, roll me wisdom perception to start looking through this stuff.
Is there any Amazon stickers? Start there.
Yeah, well, it's the universe. Do you have any perception bonus, wisdom bonus?
Wisdom bonus.
Nope, you're plus 0. All right, so some of these crates are a little too hard to open. Old Jimmy's Jaybird's getting antsy out there. He's like, "Hey, come on, guys, stop screwing around with that crap. We can get it on the way back," kind of a thing. But you're kind of rifling through it, kicking stuff aside, looking for certain things. But mostly what you find is just a bunch of coins that aren't really going to do you any good, and just maybe old pairs of socks and little gizmos and gadgets. This is a pile of springs and parts and stuff is really what it is. But at some point this might be if you need a piece or a part, this might be a good spot to come back to.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, you find nothing. Okay, Zilla, what are you doing, Zilla?
I'm gonna make my way up.
I am going to grab a handful of the coins and put them in my pocket.
Okay, there's some sweet looking gems and stuff if you don't want to take the coins and whatnot, but you can grab it as much as you want. Fill your boots.
Yeah, gems.
Sure thing.
I'm gonna fill up the put in the pockets.
Okay, Zilla, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, when Jimmy Bob says, "Hey, let's go," I'm gonna move up, and as I'm moving through, I'm gonna kind of take a look at a couple of the crates as well myself, which I do have a perception bonus, so I will roll my d20 with a +3.
Nice. Dave's rolling hot
21.
Today.
Is 21 successful in this game?
Absolutely. It is, absolutely. All you got to do is beat this target number at the end of the table here, Super Dave, and this number will change. It is a 12 now. Roll me a d4. We're going to do odd, or choose odd or even, your choice.
So how many bananas are you away from the door?
Let's go even, he says. Right, you find a little of this action in and amongst the pile.
Ooh.
Yeah, you as you're looking at it, you recognize this this thing that you found. It's some old kind of Zurin medicinal. There's like a box of them, but most of them have been destroyed or wrecked. But you do find this one thing.
Of course.
Right? This one useful item. You're like, oh, hey, check this out. Old Zurin food is essentially what you find. I shouldn't actually be saying that, but that's what you find. And that's what it is. It's some kind of like medicinal food. You recognize it immediately. You can move that onto your character sheet there, and that puts it around to my turn. I'm going to knock the rotation value down to 3. And we are going to pick the story up with H2O. You're standing back, looking out. Everybody seems to be leaving, checking the loots out. What are you doing?
Well, I'm a little bit scared if everybody's going to leave me. So I'm going to start sprinting towards the door with my big, long strides. Do I have any floodlights on my giant robot body?
Absolutely.
I think I might engage those floodlights.
Okay.
And start just striding towards the door and engage those floodlights. So how many bananas am I away from the entrance there?
Well, if you grab the banana, you will see...
Man, how many times have I heard that today?
All right, just grab the banana. Just touch the banana. So you're, what, 3 bananas away?
Yeah, but 2.5 bananas.
Right? Okay, so you could probably end up over by Zilla somewhere. I want to say, maybe right over here. What color are these floodlights that you have?
I would believe that they could be multiple colors, but right now I'm just doing the basic hick on a truck, back floodlights, looking for deer kind of a shit. Just flashing it inside there to kind of check things out. Much better than a flashlight, but I would say I would have one for each bosom because it was really called a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm flashing them. And then I just want to kind of use that to scan the hallway as long as I can to make sure that I don't see whatever's making that creature. Hopefully it's just like a 2-foot creature with ginormous feet, but most likely it's going to be something dangerous.
Okay. See if that works. And now if I click over this, looping effect, let's put that, there we go. All right, so here is your... Oh, wait a second. You might be locked in place. Can you move your character?
I can't move him, but you can grab him. I don't have permission. He's locked.
There you go.
Okay, I got him now. Okay, we got it.
Here's something cool that they added to Tabletop Simulator a little while ago. You see that you kicked in the floodlights. If you right-click on your character and go to looping effect, you can increase the brightness by like a number of levels. Right, all the way up. So you've kind of got them, I'm going to say at maybe level 3 or 4. You pop out into the hallway down here and take a peek around. The hallway, once you walk in, you illuminate it. You can see now as you enter this gigantic hallway, this illuminated area, that there is these long girders in the roof and in the surrounding areas that have definitely been twisted. In some spots, they actually look like the metal has melted. Again, this hallway that you're in looks like you're in a towel that's been twisted or wrung out. This ship has undergone some serious stresses over the last little while, and that's the most prominent thing that you notice. Roll me, actually, I'm going to tell you that as you come out, though, you walk onto the hallway, you're sort of looking around and observing a thing, and you notice on one of the walls back here, as you sort of glance back in to look at Zill and Belazar, you notice that there is an outline of what looks like a turtle. You know this race to be Tautons. You've seen them in the past, and you sort of see...
I think they're totally awesome.
Right, except there's not a guy there. You just you see what appears to be like the outline of a nuclear blast. Like there was a guy there, some kind of weird blast hit, and he cast a shadow onto the wall, and there's nothing left. You're not.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the Tautons is they're really shellfish.
Fantastic. I would give you. You know what? I don't want to.
Don't encourage that sort of thing.
Right.
No, please.
It's a good joke, but I don't want to give you a hero coin to encourage that. Belazar. So yeah, you've routed through this stuff. You're not finding anything. You've got Jimmy and I got to change his name. H2O.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Are looking outside. They're just kind of hanging out in the hallway just outside the immediate door there waiting for you guys. What are you going to do? One last kick at the can before you walk out?
Well, there's the lockers that he couldn't get open that maybe I can.
Okay, you can go take a peek in there.
Something in there. Whoops.
All right. Yeah, you do have that data pad. I'm going to put H2O onto the white deal.
Start.
You are not rolling well today. Yeah, you spend a few minutes looking at these buttons and stuff like that, and you're not sure what to make of it either. These things either are sealed tight, locked up by the ship. Maybe you needed to access the data pad, but it doesn't matter which way you grab them.
Very foreign to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way you grab them or shake them. They don't seem to be opening up. I don't know if you're going to give up or you're going to hang out here. What are you doing? Give it a couple of tugs.
I guess I'm going to come over and
make your way out into the hallway. All right, Zilla. What's the game plan there, bud? You're up. What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to follow because I see everyone else going also. So I'm going to do one more quick peek into the boxes.
Okay.
And see if I can find anything as I go into the hallway.
All right. I'll move you
into the hallway. And I think I'm going to find something with a 10 maybe.
You got to beat a 12.
12?
Yeah. You do have that hero
I thought
coin.
it was under 12, right?
You can use your token and re-roll.
I could add another D12 on there.
You can use your hero coin at any time, bud. How
hero coin. Hero coin.
What? I think I'm going to do it. So I just double click on the coin, right?
I will just take the coin off of you and you just roll a D12 and add it onto your combined total. Now, you got a 10 already, so you just need to roll over a 2. Oh, you got a whopping 12.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, that was well spent.
Has a 2 in it.
So seeing that I have like a 37 on my roll, do I get like bonus cards for everyone? Or
yeah, everybody gets a card now. Let's vote.
It's so nice not being the DM now.
That is what you find in and amongst the coins. I put it into your character sheet. Yep. And then
the Duranium Hammer, indestructible. Magnetic field does magical damage. D1000 to everyone, one thrown, and it returns like Thor's Mjolnir. Nice.
See, that's what they called me in high school, is the Duranium Hammer. You don't want to know why, though.
Going to move you guys right into this area here. And I'm going to go and delete all of... Oh, wait a second. Gotta get rid of these little deals. Hopefully that gets rid of all of the chests. Okay, so you walk out from the docking bay area into what appears to be the center of the ship. This direction down here, or I should say, wait a second, I think I've put you guys in the wrong area. I did. You appear here in this hallway. You can make your way into the middle of the room. You look around, but this appears to be like this long, gigantic hallway. There is a in the middle of the floor. I think I can get my drawing pen out. There's like a long scratch mark. And then this wall over here, Stace, was where you saw the impression of that reptoid guy sort of burned or phased into the wall. And then there's this long scratch mark that goes through this floor. Now this ship, you guys are all familiar with this ship, not the ship itself, but the material that it's made of. This entire ship is made out of this like super hard interstellar space metal stuff that can take a real shit kicking. But this ship it is really beat up, so much so that you're a little freaked out about how it got all fucking twisted. That is an unusual thing for a spaceship. In the hallway. Oh, where's Zill? What do you do? You get back here, mister. You're hanging out.
Hey, Zill, he was looking around the corner.
We could go to the middle of the room.
So I guess I did say that, right? So I'm going to put you guys sort of over here. Behind you, this area here takes you back towards the docking bay. And then to the north and south is just more corridor, up and down. H2O. you're sort of staring at this phased-in imprint of this reptilian guy. Not quite
Absolutely.
sure.
I think I better stare. I better point my appendage, my cephalocotyle appendage, at the image and tell everyone to prepare themselves for radiation.
Okay, you're like, there could be some serious radiation going on here. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it looks like that's what this is. All right.
You better get your Evo suits on. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Yep, filthy humans. Okay, you walk into this corridor. You're looking up and down this gigantic this hallway. It only goes to the north and it only goes to the south. Now you've seen Zill has seen the outline of the ship, the schematics. So you kind of have a sense as to which way is which. You're pretty sure that if you go off to the left, you're going to be heading towards the front of the ship. And if you head off to the right, you're going to be heading towards the rear or engines of the ship. Also,
and the bomb was located in the
nose
front
section
of the ship.
at the front of the ship. Yes.
Yeah, the turtles probably set that once this monster was on its way.
Yeah, these little areas right here are, you can see they're just sort of like the walls and stuff like that are popped out. But this is over in the corner is another one of these data pads that's connected to the ship. Perhaps it's in better functionality. You're not quite sure. But yeah, there's these little areas. Now, everything seems to be peaceful and quiet right now. You're looking at this big drag mark. Zill, you can see, and if you can see it, everybody can see it, this computer over here, and then, the front of the ship and the back of the ship. So, H2O, that's as much information as I can give you. What are you going to do?
Well, since I seem to be the light source, I'm going to make sure that I move with the group. So I'm going to hold my action until everybody starts moving, and then I'll kind of shuffle along so I keep that light source going so that we're all kind of together. I'm a little bit chicken, by the way.
Okay. You're a scaredy cat tank.
Yeah, I mean, who isn't?
All right. So yeah, you're kind of hanging out with the group, making sure everybody's kosher and cool. All right, you're gonna hang out and do your deal.
Yeah, I'll hang out. I'll hold my action I'll hold my movement until everybody else starts moving, and then I'll try to stay with the group and keep them within the light, because that's the one thing I can do that'll help out.
Okay, Jimmy, what are you doing? What's Jaybird doing?
I'm gonna move forward to here and peer around the corner.
Okay.
And see if I can't see what made this big scratch. And if I don't see anything threatening, I'll come over and investigate the scratch.
Okay, so you pop around the corner, make me a, well, you don't even really have to. There's no need to make me a nose roll. You look down the hallway, and as near as the light source that you can tell, even with the blinking sparks from the broken electrical wires shooting off down the hallways, the lights that are sort of coming off and coming on, you don't see anything. This scratch mark just sort of goes all the way down through this corridor and into the next sort of area that's down there. However, when you investigate it, you'll notice that this scratch mark that is in this floor was made by obviously even a tougher metal and extreme weight, like it's some kind of maybe gigantic sword, or you're not even quite sure what metal could peel back the flooring of this ship. You know this stuff to be an extremely hard metal. So whatever did it, either did it under extreme pressure, which I mean like weight, or was of massive size, and it only goes so far. Maybe let's a little bit down into the next quarter before it sort of disappears. And then it comes from up front, and you heard it to go back this way, back to the back of the ship.
So I'll start. Creeping that way then.
Okay. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to make me a perception roll. You're in this room looking around, staring at this hole or this scratch mark in the floor, studying it, and maybe we can discern some information a little bit above and beyond. 16. That's a fucking full-on success. Okay. So what you see as you're looking at this thing, you make your way down over to this area down here. You're checking out this scratch all the way down. Over here on the ground is a blood stain that sort of goes, let me get my pen out. There's a blood stain right about here. And then there's some drag marks that go off in this general direction. But what mostly catches your eye is this severed hand. There is a ripped off, severed hand in a small panel, like clutching a what appears to be some kind of like release lever that you didn't notice before that is built in right over here. A severed hand holding a release lever.
I'll go over and investigate that then.
Yeah, that hand only had one job.
yeah. And then, as you get closer, like I say, you see all the blood and the splatter and shit like that, the drag marks that take it off. This hand, when you look at it, this is a gnarly hand. At one point, you can tell that it belonged to a Torton. Again, they're like not octopus guys. They're turtle guys. But this hand is somewhat warped, almost as if the DNA of it has been changed, and its skin has become tough. And
Can I interrupt? There's a giant bunny behind you. Will somebody please? I've been playing medieval feudal society game all day. Somebody needs to shoot that thing.
Bunny.
Hey, he's got a bunny behind him. Look.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like a rabbit behind
the
traps.
game. Yeah. I see it. The drawing on the floor. It looks like a bunny.
No, it's real. It's a real rabbit.
This piece of crap, looks like a bunny. It looks okay. All right.
It is a bunny. Oh, cute.
His name's Hassenpfeffer, but we call him Stu for short.
All right. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
We have a pet rabbit. He's just bouncing around in my background a little bit.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right. Okay, so you walk up, you see this sort of twisted hand. The skin of it has become sort of calloused and thick. The fingernails, what used to be sort of like, you've seen Tortons before, but these claws are extended and long, vicious and pointy. This hand is holding on to this lever that appears to be in this wall somewhere. You would have never noticed them before without like some serious investigation. Maybe there's a little flap that covers the levers up, but it looks like he was trying to get something out of the wall.
Yeah, I will try to like pull the hand out, see what he was trying to get.
All right, you're gonna grab that lever and give it a tug?
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, I push buttons and throw switches, but I don't know what to do all the time.
Okay.
I'll definitely do that.
Pull that lever. Make me just roll the d20. You were going to make me an
idiot
check.
roll.
Okay, so this lever seems to be stuck somehow. Perhaps the warping of the ship is keeping you from opening it. Or pulling it anyways.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna use my hero coin to throw a d12 on top of that.
Sure thing. Okay, so you have no bonus to your strength. You need to roll a 6 or better on your hero coin, and I will take that hero coin from you. Got to roll a 6 or better. Wow. Okay, I don't know what happens there, but you put a little bit of pizzazz into that one. You pull on this lever, and there's like a small tray comes out. There's the tray looks like a loot box or a locker box kind of a thing that is maybe hidden in the wall, and inside of it you find, I'm going to just hit deal to orange. Skaboosh, you find this inside of a small box hidden in the wall. There you go.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Belazar. You can hear him farting around behind here doing a thing. You can't see him through the wall or any of that kind of stuff, but you notice that Jaybird is over here farting around with a thing. You're hanging out looking at these two guys. H2O is the mechanical equivalent of quivering, and Zilla is peaceful and one and zen with the universe.
Let's see. And you said this is another panel to mess with the ship over here?
Yep, it is an absolute other panel. Same as the last one.
Well, I'm going to attempt again to see if maybe I can figure it out.
You got to beat a 12.
And again,
You're just one short?
Again, I don't figure it out.
Yeah,
Yep.
this Torton language, you've kind of accessed this machine a little bit, but yeah, the images that pop up are sort of unfamiliar to you. Zilla. Hello, Super Dave. You're muted.
Trying to find my token that you muted. Well,
Hey,
I'm not
it's
muted.
right there.
Oh, there's my token that you moved on me. Okay, so we have. Can we see up and down the corridors, or are there doors blocking?
What I will tell you is that for the speed of the game, and to speed things up, there are 2 other corridors. There's a corridor behind this that's very similar, and there's a corridor in front of this. You know that the engine room, or that the ship's command center is to the front, and that the engines are to the back. There's probably, from the schematics that you saw, there's also a medical bay and a science bay near the back of the ship. So there's like a bunch of rooms towards the back. The bomb is at the front, and the ship's controls are at the front. There are 2 other rooms, but we're not going to explore them for the sake of the game. We're gonna. So yeah, there's quite a distance. You probably have to walk, I want to say, a couple hundred feet to get back
to the front of the ship, then, or to the rear.
Yeah, you're kind of in the middle.
So we weren't able to ascertain any kind of information as to why this bomb is on the ship, right? We need to find out why the bomb is on the ship.
That is a thing that
there wasn't anything that was.
Well, I mean, we could use
apparent
logic
on the last monitor, right?
Yeah, well, she's at a Belazar is over at a new monitor. She's pulled up some different information. You could go over and take a peek at that if you wanted to try and maybe decipher some of that.
I think I'm going to try to help with that also with my perception. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'll roll perception and see if I can assist again.
Okay. Wow.
Sucks.
Yeah, you're kind of looking at stuff. Belazar is kind of all over the place. Maybe she's pushing you out of the way, like, get out of my business, man. I could figure this out. But some of the images and the different commands and stuff like that she's pulling up, you can't really make heads nor tails of. This display seems to be pumping out information faster than you can decipher it.
Unless I give them my coin.
Can I use one of my 9 remaining hero coins to?
Man, you got 9 more?
Yeah.
I don't think you have 9 more, mister.
I'll take those off. Sorry.
That's why I use physical coins there, Super Dave.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Right? Much better than you bumping it up on your sheet alone. Okay, so the 2 of you are kind of stunned over in the corner, sort of poring over
I was just testing out to see if the buttons worked, is all.
The little data pad in the corner, and you've discerned no information. I'm going to switch my timer down to a 2. And we're going to go right back to H2O. You're kind of standing in the middle of the room here, quivering a little bit. You've got Belazar and Zilla over in the corner doing some stuff. Jaybird is...
Yeah, so I think I'm going to announce to everybody I recommend that we head to the front of the ship post haste so we can find the controls to the ship and maybe find if there are any escape pods left. Who's with me?
That could be a good idea if the S hits the fan.
Well, also, just regular. If we find them, then I can get on one. Get back to my ship. So I'm going to make my motion towards the, whatever direction this was, towards the front of the ship.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my appendages to kind of coax everybody. They're like, giant coily appendages. I'm doing this.
I don't know what you're doing. What is this?
Oh, on my camera, I was motioning, come this way, everybody.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so you're making motionings to go that way. Everybody in agreement? You all want to head on to the to the front of the ship?
Yeah, I follow him as up to the front.
Okay.
Always the leader. Suck it, losers.
Gather you guys
We need
together.
to find out why this bomb is here.
You guys make your way into the next area. I'm not going to bother loading the map up, but as you progress into the next area, I'd like everybody to make me a perception check.
I'll be more than happy to make that check.
Yeah, no. Oh,
thank goodness.
All right, Andrew makes
Thank
it.
goodness.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move you guys off to the red section here.
Maybe I'll use my hero token to re-roll my perception.
Oh, that's
We
okay.
have
Even
one
though
that has it.
Yeah, I'm the only one that has one. I'm going to use it.
No, I made the check.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made it. So
Oh,
save
okay.
it in case
Sorry,
we
I
need it for
thought
later.
everybody lost it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to load the next corridor just so you guys can see it. We build it up. Takes a second to load it in. And we will put you guys back on the map because you come through the southern end, making your way to the north. You guys appear in through here. As you're walking into this room, Andrew, Jaybird is looking at this thing that he's found, whatever that deal is, that item that you've got. I'll separate you guys a little bit just like this so you can access your stuff. H2O's got the headlights kicking. This room is abuzz with, broken cables and cords, wires hanging down from the roof. There's this giant structural thing in the center of the room. I don't know what you would call it. It's just like a gigantic wall. It's some kind of part of the structure that goes right up into the roof. And as you're sitting here, Andrew, you hear a noise coming from the other side of this thing. It sounds like a sort of a hissing noise. It sounds reptilian as well. It's making a bit of a hissing noise, and then you hear like the clacking noise of the predator's mouth. That tick, 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 tick. And there seems to be something coming from the other side of this wall. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'll get everybody's attention and kind of point over there,
Okay.
and try to do so silently.
Okay, fantastic. You can, through your headset, you can automatically get everybody's attention, right? You just sort of have to sort of whisper. You're like, we got a bogey at 9 o'clock, kind of a thing. And everybody becomes well aware of it. Besides notifying the rest of your party, they kind of already are. Is there another thing that you would like to do? Maybe you want to go investigate. Maybe you want to go check out this.
Yeah, I want to make sure my pistol's at the ready.
Yep.
And I want to sneak around this pillar.
Okay, so you pop yourself right up to about there. As you round that corner and you look ahead into the hallway, you notice that the next room is a bit aglow. You can see that's the captain's area, like that's the head of the ship, the command, the front part of the ship. There's some fires burning, smoke is coming out of that room, and you're kind of looking up in there. You can't really see what's going on. There's a ramp that heads up into whatever you want to call that, like the head area. What do they call it on the ship?
The bridge. The bridge.
Thank you. So you can see that sometimes I have a problem with words. But yes, the bridge, you can see the bridge through that
English
access area.
In a Canadian,
I know
it's your
how that
second
is.
language.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
I know how that is, Gary. I have sympathy for you, bud.
Sometimes words are hard. Okay, so Andrew, you walk up. I want to make sure that I got a thing going on here. And you take a peek around that corner. I'm going to set this guy. How big are you guys, by the way? I should change your size.
I increased my size to be more realistic with a water cooler.
No.
Bear nakatembe. Bear nakatem. Bear nakatembe.
We're just guessing. For some reason, I clicked on the wrong one. I'll set you guys all to about 2. You should be a little bit smaller because I want to emphasize the size of the ship. So maybe you're all about the 1 size-ish. So let's click on you and go 1. You're going to click on Zilla. Zilla is 111. And Tank, because... Ooh, I didn't quite click on H2O. 0.75. I'm going to make you a little bit bigger because you are, after all, the Tank. You're kind of a special fella.
Yeah, come on.
Right? There you go. Andrew, where is Jaybird? Jaybird takes a peek around this corner, and you can see the skittering noise that you heard is this weird mutant reptoid guy walks around the corner. He's not paying attention to you right now. He's looking down, looking around. In fact, even when he does look in your general direction, you get the sense that he's not really seeing you. He's sort of looking elsewhere. But behind him, there's from around the corner appear a few more of these things, almost like there's like a little group of them. And they just sort of walk out from behind and make it, I want to say, roughly to right about there. And yeah, that's what you see. So you can, obviously your party knows what's going on. You see these guys here, and the floor is yours, man. What are you doing?
So, being a fellow reptoid, these guys look like what? They look kind of jacked up. What do you mean they're mutant reptoids?
I want to say you are a lizard man. These are turtle men that have been mutated.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not the same reptoid race as you.
They're the much more inferior.
Yeah, they're the amphibitoids.
Inferior. Wow.
So I'll call out to them and I'll say, "Hey, you guys okay?"
Oh, all right. Yeah, you call out and immediately their attention focuses on you. It's like they went from staring at, off into the universe to solely focusing on you. Their tongues start coming out of their mouths. Their claws poke out of their fingers. They're like... And then these guys just like full on start charging in your general direction. They're making like running noises. They run towards
Zombies.
Oh, it's even better than that. As they get closer, you can see how sort of mutated these guys are. They have long black fingernails, elongated fangs, hard chitinous skin. And yeah, it's almost as if even though you called out and got their attention, there's no sense of a human or a spirit or like, you know what I mean? Like there's no sense of a humanoid being in there. These things are what appear to be like full-on animals just running you down.
Okay, I will fire.
Okay, so you're going to make me a dexterity check. This is where things are going to get a touch interesting. Because everything has been sort of calm and collective, there hasn't been any need for me to change the room. You haven't been under pressure of any kind. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the target level of this room. I'm going to bust it up to, let's crack it up 2 notches to a 14. So what happens now is this is the DC for this room. Anything you do now is going to be under the pressure of being attacked by these reptoids, which is why the room DC got a little harder. You're going to shoot your gun, which is just making me a dexterity roll. Beat a 14. If you beat a 14, you hit it, you roll damage, and just describe how you blast these things and what happens. Wow. Wow.
Did I hit?
Natural 20 is definitely a hit. On a natural 20, you also get to roll ultimate. So you're going to roll your weapon damage plus ultimate damage. And you're going to do that 3 times. So I need you to roll... let's do it one at a time. A D6 and a D12, and do that 3 times. You rolled a 6 and a 20. So try that again. 12 is...
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. 12 and 6. This will be damage number 1.
Did you want to take that 5?
Sure. We'll say that's
my previous roll.
Yeah, we'll say that's 11. Do it again. 6 and 12. Oh, there's another 11, and then one more time. And a 10. Okay. Essentially what happens is you blast these reptoid mutant guys. You do have that, what is it called? The burst fire unit. So you've engaged the burst fire unit.
Right.
You take aim and you blast these 3 guys. That combat is over just as fast as it started. Because you got the 20, each one of them does not only weapon damage, but ultimate damage. Your burst fire unit kicks in, and you almost vaporize these guys. Bits of brain. I'm going to let you describe how you kill all 3 of them with 1 shot.
Yeah, I've got my gun already out, but as they charge for me, I just draw that up super quick. You just like an old western,
Yeah.
Just like
fanning it.
yeah,
Fanning
just
the hammer.
bam, 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 and you know, each one gets hit right between the eyes.
Are you to blow
And,
in it at the end and then accidentally shoot your face?
Oh yeah. It's you know, a little smoky at the end and blow the barrel.
Wow.
Oh yeah. And then I spin my my pistol and put it back in my hip holster.
Fastest lizard in the West.
Wow.
Right.
Erase all draw lines. Yeah, let's get rid of those. Okay. So ICRPG, yeah, you can after you blast these things, yeah, Jaybird man takes them down, one shot, boom, boom, boom. Ahead of you in the room, I'm going to go over to Belazar. You're down in the corner, Belazar, doing your thing, sort of hanging out down here. I'm going to get you to roll me a perception check as well. After the blast goes off, you're not quite sure what's going on, but Jaybird's maybe focusing on the undead, and you notice absolute zero. Maybe you call out, you're like, hey, buddy, what's going on up there? I wanted to see if you were going to notice a thing, but you don't. So what do you do, Belazar?
I mean, after I see that he shot something, I'm going to go investigate whatever it is he just shot.
Okay.
Or if it's not dead, I'm going to try to kill it.
Fantastic. Move yourself to wherever you're going to go. As soon as you get up to us, I want to say about here somewhere, you'll see the reptoids that are around the corner, you know, smoking still, full of holes. Also, you don't get to go up in the top there. What are you doing? I put you down over here. There you go. Also, too, you can look through the through this little opening that's up here, and you can notice the captain's or the bridge is through this door here. There's some scurrying noises that were set off from the blast, but nothing seems to be coming through this door. But you can hear the hissing noises of other reptoids in the bridge. You can quite a few of them actually as you get a little bit closer.
Sounds like we have more incoming, guys.
Okay, so
don't worry, you just shoot them in the head, and the head explodes, and you're all right.
Yeah, so you pop around the corner, cool. You see these dead guys. You could go and inspect this box. Or you could walk up and inspect these reptoids that are up here and, you know, maybe see what they had on them, kind of a thing, or take a peek around. Maybe you want to go into stealth mode. Maybe it's invisible time.
I want to see what they have on them just in case there's anything that might help us.
Stand this guy up, and I'm going to increase his size so that you guys can get a good look as to what they look like. I will give you more of a visual description. So yeah, their teeth are long, black, gnarly. They have like shark's mouths with these just hundreds of rows of teeth. They have shells on their back, which gives them a bit of extra armor and shit like that. But there's these reptoids, not only their teeth, but you can see how his arm has this long sort of black. It looks like he dipped his hand in black glass. But as you look at it, you can tell that he had not. He's just mutating into some sort of harsh. That claw-like arm that sits out there is made of like some kind of weird material that you've never seen. He's mutating with his long gangly fingers, and he's like growing a tail and all sorts of weird shit. He's full of blisters and bumps, and yeah, it just has a sort of crazed look in his completely black eyes. As you look into his eyes a little bit more, give me another notice roll, Belle. Let's see what you're going to go on here. So you're looking for loot. Maybe these guys got some cool blaster weapons and stuff like that. Oh, look at that.
I finally rolled something.
Yeah, I'm going to deal you this card. You find that. I don't know what it is. I just gave it to you on their person. But the other thing that you notice is you're kicking these things around. As you look into one of their eyes are the same color as that star outside, almost as if they're made from pieces of it. They have this weird sort of prismatic glow that changes colors. It's like when you look in their eyes, you're looking into the universe, but you feel a sense of dread and evil. Shrink this guy back down. And yeah, did you find something cool? You can describe what it is if you want, or you can keep it to yourself.
I found a hydraulic barricade.
Oh, shit.
That might come in handy.
That's perfect against bears.
Install on any physical door or portal, and it becomes a 3-heart challenge to open. Very cool. All right, so that said, we're going to go around to Zill. You're hanging out back here, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah. I'm going to check out I'm going to do a perception check on the computer pad over here to see if I can find out any kind of information on, what this bomb is for or anything like that, if that's possible.
Sure can. So you're going to do a little search on the computer machine, try and access it, and see if you can't discern some information.
Is that going to be wisdom or is that going to be intelligence?
We'll say wisdom.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
13.
Okay, so you start poking away at this little data pad. You're scrolling through it, and you come across what appears to be some kind of logs from maybe the science department at the back of the ship. The screen, like always, it's funny, these movies like Aliens, they got all this future technology, but anytime the video comes up of the party in trouble, it's always garbled and has all these like streamy lines going across it and shit like that. And you're just like, you'd think they'd have better recordings. But,
so it was like trying to watch Skinamax as a kid back in like the 80s with all of the lines going through it. Oh, look, there's a booby. Oh, it's gone.
It's exactly what you see.
Okay,
however, the image that you see sort of looks like a Torton scientist. He's wearing what appears to be some kind of like scientific robes. Maybe he's got a pocket protector full of pens and shit like that. And he's screaming out words that takes you a few minutes to decipher. You have to put these words together. But the words that you hear him scream as he's also mutating a little bit. So you get the sense that perhaps this guy is mid-transmission or transformation, and he's half aware, half sort of becoming animalistic. But as he's screaming into the recording device, two words stick out, and the words are changing and the words pure evil. That's what you discern.
Something's changing into pure evil. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So.
No kind of data on the bomb or anything like that, though, right?
You know what? Being that I'm a nice guy, I'm going to let you make another roll and let's see what happens.
Oh wow! Thanks, Gary. Come on, funky 20. Huzzah! 15.
Okay. Well, that's sweet. That's good enough. In one of the files. Maybe it's like a captain's log or something along those lines. You find a little bit of information that
is it in Captain Kirk's voice?
Oh, I'll do it.
Star log.
Yeah.
37.7. Right.
Start date.
Point. We travel back in time to. Remember that?
No, it's just a Reptoid turtle guy speaking in turtle language. It's a bunch of clicks and clacks and some flipper noises as he slaps his shell with his little flipper flapper, right? But what you make out is that from this data log, this ship is called the Red Sword. One of the files basically says, we've decided to sacrifice the Red Sword for the greater good of the universe. The gist of it, from what you can make out, the impression is that this, not the ship, but the star that is outside is actually some kind of being. This star is warping the immediate area, like the galaxy that it's in, and consuming whatever sort of comes into its space. In the process of doing so, it's converting any kind of like DNA into its evil minions. These guys came across it. This ship, there's a little bit about the ship. This is the Red Sword. And when you read the Red Sword, everybody immediately knows what the Red Sword was. This is a famous pirate ship, which, now that you know that this is the Red Sword, that explains all the loot that was back in the main area there. That is their haul from them sort of stealing shit from other ships that come through the area. They set upon people, attack them. This was a Torton pirate ship. But in and amongst the notes, as you're reading them and trying to decipher everything, you realize that these guys came across this weird star, and when they went to investigate, they were hanging out here for a bit. The star started pulsing and warping the ship, broke bits and pieces of the command structure. The crew tried to put everything back together. And what's happened now is they realized that as the crew was warping and changing into these mutant reptoids, they knew that they needed to destroy this star. So they put a bomb in the front of the ship, and they were going to engage the hyperdrive and drive the ship into the star and explode the bomb and try and kill this evil being. That was their intent. Obviously, they did not succeed because the information that you glean from this just sort of comes to an abrupt stop. Maybe it gets corrupted or something along those lines. But yeah, you're on a pirate ship, a famous intergalactic pirate ship called the Red Sword. And in its last and final death throes, the crew, which are these mutant reptoid guys, used to be Torton pirates, have been mutated into these vile creatures, and they were trying to, maybe as a last attempt to, redemption attempt, they were going to sacrifice their ship by driving it into this thing. Now, you guys have been on the ship long enough to see that these waves, these gravity waves, as they twist this ship up, you know there's not much time left. In fact, you really feel like time is sort of running out, and I don't know if you're obligated to, or if you feel obligated, but the warp shell brought you here for a reason, and you're sort of piecing together that that's the reason why. You need to activate this ship and get it into the, and steer it into the direction of the star and fucking launch it and make your way out of here. That's kind of what the gist of things is.
Yeah, and I relay all of this information with our communication devices. So we need to get to the bridge of this ship and steer this bitch right into the star then, or to this form, this life form.
Okay, so yeah, you relay that to these guys. Everybody's now sort of on the same page. For story's sake, we got 40 minutes to make this happen. So we're going to speed shit up. Ahead of you in this room is the bridge.
You're going into digital dungeon master mode now. You're just going to speed shit up.
Let's do it.
We got 2 hours.
I want to wrap this story up. Well, we could go another hour till it's been 2, so it'll be 3 hours. If you want to go 4 or until it ends, I can try and make it happen as quickly as possible. But that's the gist. You guys are fully aware of what's going on. The bridge is up here. You're not sure what you're going to find in the bridge, but you need to figure out why they couldn't get the ship or why they didn't launch the ship. That is sort of the general understanding of everybody. So,
well, we know the engines were cold. They tried to fire them, but they couldn't. Right. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's an engine problem, and we gotta go to the other end and fix the engines. Okay.
The bridge is right here. Maybe there's a navigation problem, and you got to go to the bridge. Who knows, right?
Sure.
So that is Super Dave's turn. I'm going to switch this timer down to a 1. I should have just hit the rotation value, put it to a 1. When it comes back around, I'm going to make some shit happen. And we go over to H2O. Okay, so you are fully aware, because you're connected to Zilla, he's relayed the information of what is happening. With that awareness, you're kind of hanging out here in your little chicken shit water tank mode. What are you going to do, H2O?
Well, I'm going to head towards the bridge, but I also want to convey to everybody that we need to choose who's going to stay behind now to set this off. And I volunteer that it's one of the reptoids.
Oh, man, making plans for somebody's demise already.
Hold on. I'm immune to the vacuum of space. So after we get this done, I'll make sure the ship goes into it, and then I'll jump out. I'll unlock one of the doors, and then I'll just kind of go out into the vacuum of space, and you guys can get away on the escape pods.
That sounds like a great idea. And I'm running towards, as he's bringing this up, I'm running towards the door. And I said, so let's get to the front of the ship. Let's get to the bridge, find the escape pods, navigate this thing towards the creature, this entity, and save the day.
Right. Sounds like a fucking...
And our skins.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you take off running towards the front. It's gonna take me over to J-Bob. Where's J-Bird?
Yeah, I'll follow him. So I've got my pistol drawn again, and I will run towards the bridge.
Fantastic. Belazar, what are you doing?
Of course, I have my sword drawn.
Mm-hmm. And your draining
just
shield.
FYI. And I'm draining shit. Yeah.
No, your duranium shield.
Oh, my duranium shield. Yeah. I thought you meant my drainage because I'm a giant water heater.
You've got one of those little spigots, the water drainage spigots.
Yeah, that was just me using the bathroom.
Yeah, you got to
turn that on for a little while.
You got scale build up and stuff, right?
All right, so I'm going to assume that everybody is on the same page and we're just going to head into the bridge. Okay, no objections.
No objections.
That's what I like to hear. All right, so I got to go back to my little spot back here and we're going to load up the bridge.
Ooh, it's a bloody mess.
Nice. Look like they had fun in here.
Okay, I will come over to the red part and I will click on you guys and I will drag you back to here. So you're coming out of this corridor and entering into what appears to be the bridge. There is blood everywhere. There's smatters, spears, sprays of it. It's stuck to the walls. There's intestines and goop and gore. As you get a little bit closer, let's see. I'm gonna roll this d20 over 10, and these guys are aware under 18. Okay, H2O. See, that was my threats, treats, and timers. Actually, for this, we're gonna do this a different way because this is how it should go. Because it's my turn. It's the DM's turn. We're at my section, and we're on the 1. I'm going to have every one of you make a stealth roll, which is just dexterity. If you all succeed, which is beating a 14, you can come in here and sort of get a sneak attack, which will be an easy attack on all of these Reptoid guys because you're kind of aware. So have at it. Roll me a d20, beat a 14.
I did not beat a 14.
I can a 20, and I can add 3, so I got a 23.
Wow.
I'm the one with the giant floodlights, and yet somehow I just snuck past everybody.
We got to wait for Dave to roll his d20. Also,
I'm sure you have an off button to turn your light off.
I thought
Dave rolls a 14. Okay.
Yeah.
So, also be aware too that you don't have to roll yours on blue, Dave. You can roll from anywhere. There's 6 dice rollers on the table. Any one of them will work. You guys don't have to shoot back to your area. You know what I mean? Okay, so that is going to give everybody but from Jaybird. Jaybbird's the only one that is not going to get an easy attempt. As you guys make your way sort of towards this, I'm going to say that, oops, that does not happen. You guys are sort of scooched. Come here, you drunk. Flip over.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Zilla, you're going to go over here along with Belazar. The two of you are scooching up this little hallway here. Jimmy, Jaybird, you come right up the middle and you sort of make it halfway. You don't see this blood stain or, there's a thing that is going on here. I'm going to lock this guy in place and I'll just reset him. Because you rolled a critical 1, this Reptoid mutant sees you coming a mile away. He lets out this sort of screeching howl and flies right at you in your general direction. Why will this guy not fucking stand up? There we go. All right, we did it. Tank Boy, H2O, you're over here against the wall, and we're going to start with you. Jaybird,
well, if this guy's... Are we starting with Jaybird or are we starting with me?
We're starting with you.
Okay, well, since this guy doesn't see me and he's heading right towards Jaybird, I want to take 2 steps out of the shadows here and just swing my gigantic deuterium sword that has the weapon kit on it, and I'm just going to cleave this guy in half.
All right, roll me some strength. Dave, are you looking at that spell list, buddy?
I sure am.
Yeah, it's your time to shine here, man. 15. That's going to be a successful hit. Weapon damage +2.
So it's a D6 +2. Here we go.
Yep.
5.
All right, so yeah, you smash this guy for 5 points. You take a couple of steps out, your blade's drawn. He's not paying any attention to you. He doesn't even see it coming. You can describe how do you hit this guy? What does that damage look like?
Well, I want to cleave him right in the stomach, and he's just gonna fold like a piece of paper right around that sword, and then I'm gonna just pull it back as hard as I can to kind of saw a little bit more right into his stomach, kind of make as big a wound as possible.
Okay, you make a massive gut wound. In fact, you do fold him in half, but he falls right at your feet. He skids maybe a foot or so onto the ground. The ichor that sort of spews out of him leaves a nice long trail behind him, but he is at your feet now in close range. He can attack you, even though you've severed his spine and he's laying there. He has arms and legs and arms and a mouth that can sort of chomp and claw at you.
Pile driver.
Jimmy Bob Jaybird. Jaybird, you're up next.
Yeah, I will shoot this guy in the head with my pistol.
Okay, shoot away. That is a success. Roll for some damage. A whopping 3 plus your weapon effort. You have a 2 for weapon effort?
2, yes.
Okay.
Yep, so 5 points.
Yeah, that is going to be enough to take out this reptilian guy. The last little remnants of light sort of fade out of his eyes. This goes over to you, buddy. You tell me what happens. He's
Absolutely,
toast.
yeah. I just he's down on the ground, so easy shot. Put it right in the back of his head. Pow! And I'm like, you just gotta shoot him in the head. Don't cut him in the gut. No, it's just you shoot him in the head.
There you go.
And then that's it.
I knocked him over. Okay. You can hear the stirrings of these other reptilian creatures because old Jaybird there, man, he made enough racket for the entire frickin' front drawbridge area to sort of come to life. You can hear some reptoids coming from around the corner. It's almost like they're sort of singing this weird, low, bassy thrumming noise that they make. They just rum, 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 which almost sounds like some kind of battle chant as they sort of come towards you. I'm going to put a couple of more of these guys in here. All of these guys are making their moves. Actually, it's not even their turn yet. We got to go over to Belle. Belle, what are you doing? What's Bellazzar doing hiding in the shadows?
All right. That one I can see straight ahead. I'm going to use my energy bow.
That would be this guy here?
Yeah, this guy.
Right in the back? Okay. Yeah, this is going to be sweet. So that's going to be a hit. You're going to roll weapon damage, which is going to be your D6. And then you hit him. You did some damage. Just describe what happens.
Well, you said the head, so I'm shooting at the head.
Okay.
I'm hoping that, it kills him.
Do you have any bonuses to your damage?
Let me... Oops. Wrong direction.
I can scoot over to your sheet and take a look. Yes, you do. You have +3.
Good.
So that's going to be a combined total of 6 points of damage to this guy. All right, it's a straight shot to the head, 6 points of damage. He is at 6 of 10 health. So you do a significant portion of damage to him. You can describe whatever you want. If you want his jaw to fly off, an eye to pop out, any of that kind of stuff. I'm down for whatever it is you think that you've just done to this guy.
Oh yeah, it's like jammed in there, and he's starting to bleed out. So hopefully the next shot will take him out.
All right, wicked. That puts us around to Dave. Little Zilla.
Yeah, I am gonna move up a little bit just to where I can see all of. Even though I don't see any rules on this or anything, I am gonna move up a little bit to where I can bless all of my companions with. In fact, I'm going to curse all of the enemies with Titan's battle cry, and that will do -3 to all enemies next roll.
Okay, so I'm going to read the spell, and I will read it to you and try and make it make sense. So Titan's battle cry either grants +3 to all allies next roll, or -3 to all allies next roll, or all or enemies. Yes. Yeah. You'll notice there's 3 types of spatial references in this game. Close, which is melee combat. Near, which means you could move that distance and attack, or far is anything outside of that. I think that is explained on... No, it is not. It is not explained on this sheet.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything on Titan's battle cry about the different ranges and stuff. So
damn straight.
That's why I just wanted to make sure that I was in range.
Yep.
Within sight range.
Nope, that spell.
Because I did see that on a couple of other spells, close and stuff like that. So...
Yep. Okay. So you just sort of make your way up here a little bit. You can move, cast your spell. You got to make a successful wisdom check or wisdom attempt. In doing so, your attempt is going to make them all roll -3. That is your game plan?
Yes.
All right.
Pretty sure a 14 is successful, maybe?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. So yeah, you want to give us a little battle cry there, Dave? How does that?
Yeah,
what does that look like?
I go up and I grab my new hammer that I have that I'm just infatuated with, and I pray to the deity that I worship called Yoda, and I put out a chant. Well, not a chant, but like a battle shout, and waves of this green kind of plasma ripples out and kind of engulfs each of the different mutants.
Ah, Dave, I love you, buddy. Have a hero coin. Thank you for
Thanks,
that
man.
beautiful description, my friend. Thank you. That is amazeballs. Yeah, these guys are all infused with some, this green light illuminates each and every one of them. You can sort of see them hesitate for half a second. They all stop, like shake it off a little bit. But yeah, the effects of the mighty Yoda have affected each and every one of these. They're all going to be at a -3. Cool part is now that it's my turn. Like I said, there's 3 forms of movement. There's melee, which is anybody that's in your immediate area. If you could reach out and hit them with your hand or your sword, that is what's called close. Beyond that is the area called near, and that area is within a banana's length. We use the banana. This one moves a little bit kind of weird, but that's why the banana's on the table. It's just used to sort of give you a general idea. What I'm going to do is show you that the banana is actually about 6 inches in length. So you can use this little, whatchamacallit, you can pick it up by the base and just hit E or Q. You see how it rotates? So if I put it, let's say on the closest guy, and I move it around, we're going to say that these guys can roughly, now I'm not using grids because it doesn't really matter, but these guys are going to roughly move 6. I'm going to put this down over here, and 6 is sort of somewhere in this area here. I'm going to take all of my guys at the same round, and I'm going to move this guy, select them all, grab Bert, and I'm going to move everybody this much closer. These 2 guys, I see somebody has given them all names. That's fantastic. These guys pop around the corners. This reptoid mutant, he leaps off this front chair and lands in the front. And yeah, they're just all sort of coming in close proximity. That's really all they can do this round is sort of advance on everybody. Oops, I hit my deal. I'm going to...
So H2O moved off the board and someone else splatted.
Where
right
is
in front
H2O?
of the banana.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Well, I'll just move him back to where he was at. He was right here. I'm going to delete this reptoid mutant. We'll get rid of him. And yeah, now you can see that there's a nice frickin' beautiful entourage of reptoid mutants coming in your general direction. Also, I am going to rotate my threats, treats, and timers dice. That is going to be a solid 4. And yeah, I can't really do anything this round. These guys do have guns and blasters, but because they're kind of somewhat mutated and shit like that, actually, you know what? I'm going to have a couple of them maybe shoot at you guys. Let's see. Nice and easy, 4 shots. Around the table we go. Starting with the first one will be H2O. There's one of them shoots at you. What do we got? 15, 11, 12, and 16, prospectively around the table. H2O.
Those are all -3 as well, right?
-3, yep. So does a 12 hit your armor class, H2O? I don't believe that it does. You have an armor class of 16. Does an 8 hit Jaybird?
No, I have 11.
Okay. Belazar, does a 9 hit your armor class? No, because 10 is the minimum, and 13 on Dave.
14. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, so
My
Zilla.
armor is a 12.
Yeah, so
but I guess I have a 1 bonus for my race and 1 for my gear. So do I need to add that in there, or is that already calculated?
Yeah, it's already
because
done.
it's base of 10, right?
Yep, base of 10.
Then it hits me.
All right, so because you're up in front, casting Titan's battle cry, These things some of them come leaping over, some of them are jumping and running and clawing and making all sorts of hissing noises. Some of them just happen to be carrying rifles that they just randomly shoot. It, because they're sort of very animalistic and they're not really paying attention or focused attention, just a random shot, and you're kind of up in the front there, and you take the brunt of it. But it's only just a little grazing shot for 2 points of damage.
Oh, no problem.
You have on your character sheet right here a little heart. That little heart, you can hit the -1 button 2 times, and that'll put you down to 18. You're going by 5s. There you go. And -1 is... There you go. Bingo bango. There, you can keep track of your health now. Okay, that's it for my turn. H2O, what are you doing? You have an entire...
Is there any order on this? Can I go ahead and go first? I can do another Titan's battle cry, or I didn't think there was any initiative. That's why I was asking. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, we just go around the table. So your turn, my turn, and then we go around, and then it comes to you. Now, there might be instances as you can speak up, and you can try and influence H2O's turn. Like if he's trying to do a thing or pull maybe he's going to pull a lever that's going to blow up a bomb, you could yell, "Don't do that." But yeah, essentially the initiative order would put you at the tail end.
No, it's no problem.
Okay, H2O, lickety split.
I'm going to yell, snap. "Run for your lives." No. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple great steps right towards Bert and swing my deuterium sword at him.
All right, fantastic. So you can move up there, roll your D20. Let's see what kind of damage you do to this guy. Okay, that's going to be a hit. Weapon damage, I don't know if you get any bonuses.
6 plus 3, I think. Hold on, let me look.
Your gear weapon tool is +2.
6 plus 2.
So D6 +2 for damage. Wow, 8 points of damage. Nice. What happens to Bert?
Well, of course, I'm going to go right for the softest part of any reptoid, and that's his peanut appendage. And so I'm going to just clean it right from his... I'm going to carve that hootage out right from between his legs.
Nice. Well done. Okay, that puts us around to Jaybird. You're standing sort of near the back, seeing this happen. Your friend there, H2O, doesn't seem to be too chicken shit at the moment.
About time. So right. I will move up a little bit and shoot again at Bert with my pistol. Move to about there. That's gonna miss.
Okay. Belazar, what are you doing? You're down in the back, still sort of somewhat hiding in the shadows. Actually, you did shoot this. You shot Connie in the face. She's coming for you.
I'm going to shoot Connie in the face again.
Let her rip. $14, that's going to be a success. Roll for damage.
Yeah.
You should have +3 to your damage. So D6 +3. And what happens to Connie? Find out.
So 7.
Yeah, Connie goes down. Connie has a whopping 10 hit points. Yeah, you've done enough damage.
I went to the other side and blood spurting out of the neck. Yeah. Turtle heads going back and forth, and down inside the shell.
Connie is dead. That puts me around to Super Dave. You're back up.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the same thing. Minus, instead of it glowing green, I am going to help my party members with a +3 to all rolls to your next roll. So that the goldish type of color, golden ripples come out, and all of you have this golden aura around you. So you'll all get +3 next time. So hopefully, if I can do a successful check here, which it is is it with a 13?
So 10 plus whatever your wisdom bonus is.
It's 13. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's you need a 14 to get your successful attempt. But I did give you a hero coin there, my friend.
Yes, you did, and I'm going to use that hero coin.
Okay,
So if you want to take that hero coin, I will roll a d12, which will automatically make me pass.
Yep, you just need to roll a 1. I'm trying to find something on one of my other tables, but I think this is it right here. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and I rolled a 7, so that was a 20.
Okay, so you successfully... I got this little lay down thing that I use. So old Connie's toast.
Yeah, Dave, don't forget to turn your 4-sided to a 2 now.
Yep. Yeah, your 4-sided dice goes to a 2 because you've cast 2 spells. You were successful. Everybody gets a +3 bonus to their attempts as Zilla. Now, Dave, did you describe what that looks like? You got some golden light shooting out of you somewhere?
Yes, it was like the ripples coming out, sort of on like a point blank area of effect, and everybody is engulfed in a goldish, golden type of aura, instead of the green aura that now disappeared from all of the mutants.
Okay, so they're -3, and you guys are +3. Well done, Dave. That's 2 spells that really are going to make a dramatic difference going on here.
Mm-hmm.
What are we at? So I got to spin my dice from a 4 down to a 3. My reptoids, all of them, except for Connie, who obviously she's done, right? She's spent. She's laying on the ground. There's some gurgles coming out of her. All of these guys are going to sort of rip past where you're at. I'm going to set them down. They're going to fall over in this general area here somewhere. I'm just going to set them where they should be, sort of on the map. As this swarm passes you by, this is where are we at here? Old Bert, where'd Jaybird go to?
And it looks like they're running right past us.
Yeah, this swarm doesn't really run. They just sort of run into the group of you. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And
Attacks of opportunity. Let's do it.
Connie is toast. So I'm going to put 1 on H2O. Douglas is going to attack H2O. We're going to start with that. Let's see what happens here. Makes some kind of violent claw attack. That is not going to be a success. Who do we got? We got this Reptoid Mutant. There's Jimmy. There's 2 guys. Kim. Let's put these 2 guys. Kim and this Reptoid Mutant. These 2 guys are going to attack Jaybird. These will be at -3. So that's going to be a 10 and a 7. Yeah, these things come in. As they're swiping at you, you see this green light sort of will appear on their claws or their hands sometimes, and it's almost like there's this light sort of pushes their attempts out of the way. This little fella Bert is going to proceed over here, and Garnoir is going to attack Zill. So I'm going to do 1 attack on Zill.
Marv's from Montreal.
That's going to be a fail, and this last Reptoid Bert is going to attack Belazar. If I failed completely across the board, Dave, that spell is kicking ass and taking names. Okay, yes. That's it for my turn. We go right around to H2O. 3 guys around you, violently attacking your party members.
I better just go after, let me see. I'm going to go after Douglas. He hadn't been touched. So I'm going to swing. I'm going to swing right at Douglas.
Don't forget +3.
All right, I won't. Oh, let's see. That's 6 +3, 8, 9, 10 +2, 11, 12. That's not enough. So my coin.
Yeah, it's not happening, unfortunately for you.
I'll use my coin.
What's that?
I'll use my coinage to re-roll.
All right, where's that?
Or to add a 12-sided.
Okay, you definitely want to hit this guy. That's good stuff. I'm going to take that away from you.
Another 5, so that hits.
Okay, roll some damage and tell me how you maim, pound, or whack this guy.
So that's a 4 + 2. I'm just going to basically stop Douglas from moving by clicking him right in the throat. And while his blood's kind of up there, I'm gonna just slowly draw it out.
Excellent.
Just let it slice right in there.
All right.
Getting a little bit of blood on my metal chassis, but that's perfectly okay. I'm used to bathing in the blood of my enemies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like, the fluids from this deformed reptoid guy are spraying all over you. Maybe they're covering your visual cortex. You might want to reach up there. Maybe the wipers kick in. Jaybird, you're up. You've got two guys bearing down on you, making violent attacks.
Just out of reflex, I kind of drop back a little bit, pistols out, and I'll fire at Kim.
Okay. Now, don't forget, you got that burst module on your deal there.
Yeah, so I got to hit her first, though, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a success. 17. So you're going to roll weapon damage 3 times, and then you're going to apply it however you like.
Woo! It's going to be hard. How are you going to figure that one out?
Kim takes 1. Actually, I think that's going to be...
Kim takes 4, because I get a +3 to these.
Yep. Kim
takes 4, and then Kim will take the next 6 as well. Okay. And then I will give 10 to Garnor.
That's going to
pop.
Yeah, that's going to be enough. These guys. Yeah, that's going to be enough damage to take out Kim. Your last and final attempt is how much?
It's another 10. Because I rolled 6 on that. Oh no, I'm sorry, 9.
9 points. Okay, so on Garnoir, is he the guy that takes the 9?
Yes, 9. It's +3 on the damage.
Okay, he has 1 hit point left. So you've successfully killed Kim. Kim goes down in a blaze of glory, and Garnoir is. I'm going to let you describe how these things are damaged and destroyed.
Well, I got Kim. First shot was kind of in the chest, and then I raised my sights a little bit and took the head off. And then Garnoir, though, I was a little bit low, got him in the throat. He's bleeding pretty badly, but I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't get him in the
head. Sweet. All right, Belazar, you're up. Still in the shadows.
And Bert's over near me, so I'm going to shoot Bert and hope this gets him.
+3 is 10. Plus any dexterity is 5, so that's going to be +15. Yeah. And you needed to beat a 14, so that is a success. Thanks to the golden aura from Zill, his spell washes over you and corrects your aim at the last moment, allowing you to penetrate this crazy bastard.
9 points of damage.
Yeah.
All right, so Bert goes down in a ball of flames. What does that look like?
Straight through the head. Just brains everywhere.
Watch when I knock this guy down. We'll see if other pieces go flying. Oh no, he easily went over. Sometimes they go fucking flying off the board. All right, that leaves Garnoir on Zill. Zilla, what are you doing? These things are starting to drop like flies.
Are you muted?
Hello, Dave.
Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong push to talk. I would love to use Witch Rot, but unfortunately, it affects everything in the radius, the near radius. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to attack the Garnoir.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to attack him with my hammer.
The
Duranium hammer. Life is good, so I'm going to go ahead and attack.
All right, then you're going to use your fancy new Duranium hammer?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so
would that be based off of wisdom, right, for the attack? No, I'm just kidding.
Nope. If you read,
that would be based off of strength.
Do you understand how this deal works? This Duranium hammer is indestructible. A magnetic field around this Duranium hammer does magical damage when thrown, and then it returns you. So if you throw this thing, which is going to be dexterity, and it hits, you'll be doing D8 instead of D6 damage, and then it will come back to you.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and throw it at.
You want to give it a toss
at this guy?
Okay, so you're gonna roll your D20, add your +3, beat a 14, and you have no bonuses to this.
Nope.
You are rolling hot today, Dave.
It's nice.
All right.
My hammer's plus
Kaboosh.
8, D8 as well, so that's nice.
Yep, Bert's old Garnoir has only got 1 hit point left. He's not going to see this coming. Actually, you just describe how your hammer kills it, because he's only got 1 hit point.
Yeah, what it does is it knocks his head completely off, and I'm glad it was just enough to kill him. It knocks his head off. The hammer goes around, hits all of the other creatures for critical hits, and then comes back to my hand like Thor as I just hold my hand out, extended out, and Mjolnir's hammer just goes right back into my hand.
Did you whip it and then it hits you in the head?
Yeah, and then it takes me out.
All right, I'm down to my last 2. Who's left? We got Squanto and we got Douglas. Douglas is going to make a ferocious wild attack on H2O, while old Squanto here is going to proceed forward and try and attack Jaybird. 2 shots. Here we go. H2O. What do we got? 9. So that's going to be a miss. And some wicked biting attacks. 10, 7. Man, I got to reduce my threats, treats, and timers dice down to a 2. And that puts me right back around to H2O. Pick it up, buddy.
Hell, this guy's going down.
Uh-huh.
Douglas, you better say goodbye. Oh, shit. That's not good.
7.
I'm a little bit full of myself, and I guess I went to swing at Douglas a little high and just kind of circled it. But I'll get him on the next go-around.
Damn straight. Jaybird?
So I'm firing my pistol again.
Excellent.
Don't forget. That's a 10, so that's going to be a miss there.
Okay. Belle? Belazar.
Shooting the bow.
Come on, old buzzard.
Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Gonna kill all of us.
Zilla, we're right back to you just that fast. There's just a series of misses.
You know what? I like that. So let's go ahead and throw my hammer at Douglas to see if I can take him out. Pretty sure that's going to be a hit.
Damn straight, man. You're rolling hot today with that friggin' +3 you got going on there. Oh, how long does Titan's battle cry last? No, that's
it should be one round or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
No more adding.
It says your next roll.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll give it to you this round because I already said you had it, but I just made me think about it. Okay, so you hit Douglas.
Oh, is it 13 not a hit then? Because I wasn't adding +3.
No. Yeah, 13 is not a hit. 14 is a hit.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah,
Right,
because
so-
I don't have any dex bonus.
Okay, so you throw your hammer at Douglas, and man.
Oh,
right
I thought
back-
it was a 13 because on my hammer it says 13. Dex of a 13.
Oh.
So does that mean that I have to have a dex of a 13?
I will explain a rule that I am not using. Because you found this Duranium hammer in game, and we are in the segment of time that ICRPG describes as mere moments. Basically, this game is played in rounds. Once we are done here, we can go from mere moments to an hour, and we can. I will just say to you guys, okay, over the course of the next hour, H2O, what are you doing in the ship, the bridge of the ship? But in mere moments, when you're in that mere moments phase, in order for you to use this hammer, one of the rules is that this hammer, you have to attune to it. So you need to roll over a dexterity of 13 and apply basic damage to get over 10. So it would take you can see 3-4 rounds in order for you to be able to use this hammer, to study it, to sort of attune yourself to it. But I've taken that rule out and just given you the ability to use it. That's what those mean. Roll over 13. You got to do more than 10 effort, and this hammer becomes attuned to you, and then you get all the properties. But I've foregone that. But those are what those numbers mean.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that.
No, I took that rule out. But here's where that rule can be cool. When you guys were outside in the umbilicum and you were trying to access the interior of the machine, the pressure's on for the thief. You don't just get a roll up and roll a success and in you go, right? You actually have to sort of work your way through the locking mechanism, the things crumbling in around you, there's pressure and it creates tension and shit like that as far as the scene goes. And that's what I like about this. But for time's sake, we didn't use it. Okay, so that's a miss. Your hammer, however, does come back and land in your hand, and you still look ultimately cool, Super Dave. So that's good.
Of course.
That's the important part, right there.
Jaw
I'm
one.
trying to catch it in your butt, leave it. I think that would be awesome.
Jaw one.
I'm putting the rotation timer down to 1. The next time it goes around is Threats, Treats, and Timers time. We've got 2 guys left. Squanto, again, is going to attack Jimmy, and old Douglas is going to make his way and try and smash What's-His-Face. So we're back to normal rolls. I'm going to get a +3 on this on H2O. So 17, does that beat your armor?
It does, indeed.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a d6 for damage. And remember, anything under 4, your shield will kick in and absorb that damage. So you only take 1 point of damage. As this thing, as old Douglas comes up and gets close, man, this black hand that he's got, this crystallized formation that creates this front paw, he swipes it at you, and your shields kick in, but his claw penetrates your shields and just leaves this gigantic scrape mark right across the front of your tank. Very similar to what you saw in the floor back there. You're surprised at how sharp this crystal arm appendage of his is as it penetrates right through you. We're going to take a shot, some teeth marks. Squanto's going to get bitten at, plus, that's no good. And we go right back to Tank Man. H2O, you're up.
Well, I mean, I can't let it sit. I'm going to just slam him with the, oh, damn.
What happens? You're going to have to tell me a bad thing that happens to you.
Well, I would say that I went to hit him with the broadside of the blade, and I fumbled the hilt.
Okay.
So I lost a little bit of the angle of the swinging the sword, so it's kind of out of control, and I cleaved Dave's head clean off.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, Dave. Thanks for coming out.
That's good.
H2O, your next attempt is going to be made hard because you're trying to sort of regain your grip on that sword.
And hard is the little number underneath that big number on the.
Yes, there's two things you have to know. There's easy and hard. If I say make an easy attempt, it's +3 to your attempt. If I say make a hard attempt, it's -3. The numbers are written on this card over the corner here. You can see. Somebody's picked it up, right? So the target number is a 14. An easy would be an 11, and a hard attempt would be a 17. And there is nothing else. There's no other modifiers to make the game any more difficult. It's as simple as that. So he fumbled. The sword's falling out of his hand to keep the story going and make everything sort of speedy. Boom, boom, boom. Your next attempt is going to be difficult because you've sort of lost your grip on the sword. Jaybird, you're Jim Bobs.
Fire away with the pistol.
Trying to gun this bitch down. He's chomping and
Right,
biting. Nice work, man. Okay,
I'll
so
finally get a hit. So 7 points of damage on the first shot, and then my 2 others on my burst. 5 points to him as well, and then the last shot will go to the one remaining. Only 4 points of damage on him.
So 2 shots on Squanto and 1 on Douglas?
Yep.
All right, well, that's going to be enough to take Douglas down. And Squanto, I believe, basically just has, is it 1 hit point left? Let's see, 4 + 3 is 7, and 2 + 3. No, they both go down. You describe how you kill both of these last remaining reptoids with your burst.
Again, it's a quick draw. I'm going for the head, but I actually wind up hitting the neck on this first guy. Kind of just blast it out, and his head falls down. And I go, oh, well, I guess the neck will work too. And then I shoot the other guy in the neck too. And that works. That kills him. So it's like, all right, guys, you can shoot him in the head or you can shoot him in the neck, apparently. So
all right, very cool.
Whichever.
Okay, so the room appears to be cleared. Jaybird has pulled out his gun. He's blasted these things off. Belazar's in the corner. There doesn't seem to be any immediate threat or attacks. What are you going to do now that these things are toast? Options would be you can search the room to see if you can find any information about what's going on. You can search the bodies to see if maybe they had some kind of loot or treasure. Maybe you want to search the room to see if there's loot or treasure hidden in and amongst this area. What are you doing, Belazar?
I'm going to search bodies because I'm hoping that they have something that might help us later, since they're at the crew that was in the deck area.
Okay. Search away. Wow, nice. On one of them, you find this. I'm going to let you take a peek at that. So you're busy searching the bodies. Zilla, you're up next. You can see that old Belazar has gone right into checking the what's going on. She's searching the bodies, looking for some things. She's obviously found something by the look on her face. But what are you going to do while she's searching the bodies?
I want to see if I can get the ship going so we can get this ship into the actual star.
You're going to make your way up to the captain's little area that's up here. Let's go click on Zilla and make Zilla a little bit bigger, 222, so that you sort of seem to fit into size and shape a little bit more. Okay, so you walk up to the captain's bridge area. Roll some investigation, I guess, which is going to be intelligence.
I get on the microphone and say,
come on, assholes, we've got to get this ship into the sun or into the star.
The entire ship, the PA system across the ship is one of the few remaining functional pieces of equipment. From the very back of the ship, you hear Godzilla, let out this gigantic roar. This comes from it echoes down the hallways and reverberates through the front of the bridge.
Oops.
Detach the saucer section.
Would a 22 roll work, sir?
Yes, a 22 lets you look at this Torton control panel. As you've been on the ship a little bit more, you're looking through the displays on the dash and stuff like that, and you notice that the ship is not aligned to go towards the planet. There seems to be there's two things that you have to do from the bridge. Looking at the navigational display, you have to set in the coordinates, which are relatively simple. You know how to fly a ship. You know what coordinates are all about. You guys are no dummies.
Of course I do. I'm a Jawa. Right? I mean, I'm a tinkerer. I know how to do everything.
That's right. So, you guys are smart. You've been in space before. You've flown ships. You've done stuff. This isn't foreign to you at all. So yeah, you can punch in the coordinates and aim the ship at the star. That is not a problem. You can go ahead. Is that's your intention?
That is, yeah.
All right. So you punch in the code. Doot, 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 doot. It's a 4 or 5 digit set of beeps and bristles. And right beside it, after you punch in the coordinates, there is a button there that you obviously can tell is engage. It is go. It's the go button.
Let's go. Engage, number one.
Wait. Don't we want to wait until we, get off the ship?
Get out here?
I'm saying. We need to get out now. Engage, number one, and let's evacuate.
All right, you going to smash that button, Dave?
I smash it.
Okay, you hear...
Smash it like a pineapple, for sure.
The ship powers up for half a second. And then you just hear it go... You know something's up. Yeah, you're like, there is a malfunction in one of the junctions between the bridge and the engines. And when you smash that button, you're like, shit, man, we're going to have to go to the back of the ship and manually engage the engines to get this ship going in the right direction.
Sunny beaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things are not looking up. Yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. I'm sorry.
Can we use the in-ship transporter?
Yeah, actually, we're totally going to do that here in half a second. Okay, so
I'll stay on the
we
bridge.
know where the engine room is.
Call me on the comm, and I'll get this thing going as soon as you guys have the engines up and running. And you guys get out, and then I will look for an evacuation hatch and get out because I'm immune to space. I'm immune to the vacuum of space.
Well, no, come with us. We can fire off the engines from there, and then the coordinates are already in. So
But I still need to engage it, though. I still need to hit
Yeah.
the engage button, even though the coordinate, because when I hit it, it went wah 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 wah.
I say he needs to take one for the team.
So would I know that I need to hit the engage button again after the engines are started back up?
You are pretty sure that there will be a navigational subsection back near the engine room that will allow you to sort of control the ship from back there.
To
But
the
you're
back
welcome
door
to
we
stay.
go.
Okay. Before we
Let's
take
hit the
off
back
to
door, guys.
before we take off, we're going to go into what I call, we're going to move out of Mere Moments, and we're going to spend a little bit of time in the bridge. It is my turn, so because it's the Threats, Treats, and Timers time, we're going to do some treats for everybody. That was fucking well played, taking out those guys.
Can I get some cookies?
So I'm going to give everybody a hero coin across the board for one for everybody. I will roll. Oops, there we go. I will roll my Threats, Treats, and Timers dice, kaboosh. And that puts it at a 2. Okay, starting with Wormfood, you're with H2O. So you're a little taken aback. You know, that was kind of a brutal battle. You had this massive chest wound, that a tarnish, a scrape in your tank. I don't know if that's going to set you off a little bit or whatever, right? But man, you know these things there's no fooling around. You might have thought that was an easy battle, but really, you guys kind of just got a little bit lucky. That's what you're thinking to yourself, but you're not saying it out loud. You can take a bit of a breather in this room as Zill looks over the command of this ship. You guys can spend about an hour doing some recovery, and then so this is sort of another thing. Over the next hour, H2O, what are you going to be doing in the bridge?
Well, I should recommend to whoever got that door that lets you block it from creatures to put that on our door so we can be safe from the giant whatever that's going to try to breach us.
Okay.
And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to each panel and try to find as much information about the pods to get out of here as possible. I'm looking for some kind of a working ejector pod or something that's doable.
There you go. I just built a hydraulic concrete barricade in the back door with the machine that you guys found. Okay.
Well, that was my recommendation, but Belle, it's up to her if she wants to do that.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just going to leave it there because I'm sure at some point it's probably a good idea. You guys are going to take a few minutes to catch your breath. Make me a Constitution check. Actually, this doesn't really matter. Over the course of the next hour, you guys can all get yourselves back up to full health because Super Dave can basically cast Healing Nova, which heals everybody in a burst. Or you can make a Constitution recovery roll to get your stuff back. There's a couple of different ways that you guys could go about it. But you're going to spend the next hour.
I was going to ask about Healing Nova out of combat. Is that okay for me to do within my hour?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, hell's yes.
So how does that work? I mean, can I just keep, even if I fail, do I just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going? I mean, how do the rules handle that kind of situation?
So how it's handled is in combat, like in mere moments when you're in combat, we're going to flip the timer. But because you're not in that phase of mere moments, you have an hour to sit here and fuck around and cast your spells. And even if you do go out of sync with the spiritual realm, there's nothing really going on. Over the course of the next hour, you just sort of wait. Your timer, let's say you rolled another 4 rounds. What is 4 rounds? 20 seconds. You phase out. So that is taken care of when you're in combat, is really the only time it counts. Otherwise, you just sit here and cast spells and you can sort of heal everybody else up. It reduces the idea that you have to rest for 8 hours kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
So I could just basically just mend us all back up to full life then, right?
Yep, there's nothing going on right
within
now.
My hour. Wow,
yeah, straight.
That's cool.
It's peaceful. It's quiet.
All right.
That's
what I do during my time.
Right. Okay. Also, this would be like the time that, we could basically say you casted enough that you reset your timer so that, if you wanted to be janky about the rules, you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to keep casting until my timer's back to 1. But that's if you just wanted to be janky with the rules. So you're up here checking out the cabin. H2O is wandering around the bridge looking for various things. I'm going to get you to make me a perception roll to see if you notice anything up in around this area.
+3.
Okay, so yeah, you're sort of peeking around, looking at stuff because you're a big dumb dolt that really doesn't know what's happening. You're just a fucking walking, talking water tank. You don't notice anything. You're like, oh, these buttons look nice. I wish I could read this language. I wonder what this is over here. And you poke things, but most of the shit's broken on the bridge anyway, so you can't really do any damage. Yeah, you just
I'll turn around and go, hey, everybody, look at this pretty color of this light.
Andrew, what is Jaybird going to do over the course of the next hour?
Yeah, he's practicing his quick draw.
Okay. Make me
he's whipping out the pistol, spinning it,
Sweet.
Putting it back.
Make me a dexterity check. And if you succeed, your next attempt will be easy because you're sort of tuning yourself into the weight, adjusting yourself to the gravity of the ship. You're sort of doing all sorts of things as you peek around. Okay, fantastic.
And if he failed, does he shoot?
Well, if he rolled a critical one, he probably would have blasted a bunch of people on the deck of the ship. Belisar, you're up. You're hanging out in the back here, watching Jaybird twizzle his gun. He's feeling for the slightest little transgressions in the gravitational force that the ship will play on his weapons, and fine tuning himself to the weights. What are you going to be doing over the next hour? You throw up the barricade. I'm just going to say that you do it. I'm
searching. I'm checking out, the room and seeing if there's anything that could help us out.
Okay.
So I'm investigating.
Let her rip.
Oops.
We'll just take the first one. So the first one is a natural 20, which means
I like the 20.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Tell me where you find these two items.
Well, somebody had some interesting stuff stuck up underneath their desk. It was like,
oh, I thought you were going to say something else. I was like, no, she's not going there.
Altered Nature's Pocket.
Nature's Pocket. Yeah, Nature's Pocket. I was like, she's not going to Nature's Pocket.
No. They had it. It was underneath their, their workstation. So, yeah, I found a nice little,
Yeah, you find some stuff.
Ring.
I'm going to let you. You can do whatever you want with those. If you want to tell people that you found them, maybe they know. I don't know. You are the thief. You maybe you found it with some subtlety, kind of a thing. But yeah, you somewhere in this bridge, you find these two items either on a reptoid, in a little hidden compartment somewhere, maybe near the captain's desk. It doesn't really matter. Whether or not you choose to disclose those items is entirely up to you.
Hiding, I slip on a ring, but you all don't see it. You don't see me hooking something up to my bow either.
Just having a rest in the corner. Okay, so you can have those. Super Dave, yeah, you realize you've done your studying, you figured some shit out. You know that there's a shuttle that will take you from this front area, and it was like a zip line kind of a thing, a little robotic tube that you can hop into that will shoot you back.
Like at the bank.
I got to step away for
just a second. Yeah, you hop in a little pod, stuff yourself in the wall. You shoot yourself down to the far end of the ship.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm small enough. Yeah, I could get the engine started maybe in that hour. And can I guess I can't get the engine started and get everybody healed up, right?
Oh, no. We're going to spend an hour. Everybody's healed. You've cast your spells. You've said your prayers. They've mended their wounds. But you have an hour of downtime to take a breather kind of right now. And you're sort of looking out, scoping through this thing. Maybe you're doing a search, or you're trying to, you can do anything you want. Maybe you're trying to find, maybe you want to do some more investigation and see if you can't find another piece of information. Or maybe you would just want to look around for some stuff.
So I can't get in the tube and take a ride down to the engines and get it started up?
Well, that tube that I'm talking about, everybody will fit into it. It is like a, it's not a transport beam kind of a thing. It is just a mechanism that this ship has that will allow a group of people, like the crew, like an elevator, to slide down to the
drive up.
Yeah,
drive up.
Yeah, you figured that out as you were looking at the as the whatchamacallit. That is us. That is GM Fiat. Is that what they call that? That's how I'm going to get you guys to the back of the ship really quickly.
Okay,
but
that sounds good. So let's see if I can find any other information about the story of the ship. Full details is what I'm looking for.
That is
17.
That is going to be a solid roll. As you're hanging out at the front of this this console and shit like that, you're looking around. You're sitting in the captain's chair. There seems to be something that sort of sticks out underneath the chair. You see like a little deal kind of poking out there. You reach down and grab onto it, and it looks like a captain's hat. It's kind of like one of those two-cornered old pirate's hats. It's got a skull
Little
insignia.
tricorns?
Yeah, and it's a full-on like pirate's captain's hat. You're not sure where this came from because this is sort of like a naval kind of a deal, but you feel pretty good about this hat. You definitely enjoyed
I put
this.
it on. I like it, yeah.
Hell yeah, man. You like full-on
I'm
fucking...
mischievous. Yeah, I'm a Jawa. I like that stuff.
Yeah, you put that hat on, you're walking around the room, you're looking at stuff, you kind of try and find a mirror to check yourself out in. And as you do so, you notice that maybe up in the front corner of this ship up here, you see that part of the front of the bridge has been torn open and it's been sealed up by some kind of weird goop. There's like this gigantic hole and you're kind of looking at it, you're like, wow, whatever tore through that.
Flex spray at 4:00 in the morning. You see those commercials? The flex spray, is that what it's called?
Whatever.
Look, I can even float in a metal boat.
Flex tape
With a screen door on the bottom of it.
Right? But whatever twisted up or created this little spray area to be there, as you sort of look down around it while you're waiting for everybody to get their shit done kind of a deal, you notice there's a little lockbox down there. And inside that lockbox, the lid easily flips open. You find this item. Okay, back to my turn. I'm going to move the rotation value down to 1. We are going to take down the concrete barricade, and I'm going to portal everybody the back of ship. It is 418. I'm going to put you down here in this corridor. Now you're only in this corridor for a few minutes because this corridor leads to 2 primary sections of the ship. Actually, 3 primary sections of the ship. You notice that this area over to your left, from what you remember from the description of the ship, that is probably the medical bay. And you've made your way quite quietly through the little the pod that has dropped you back here. The pod is essentially like an elevator cube that you go in, you sit down, and a tram will run you down the side of the ship and bring you all the way to the back where it opens up, doors slide open. It's like a bit of a small little pod train kind of a thing. You guys get out in this room. This is the way to the engine room. And this way over here takes you into the science bay. So you've got medical bay to your left. Let's say not to your left, to my side of the table. Science bay to the orange-yellow side of the table. And the engine room is green-blue. We're going to go over to H2O. You pop out of this door. It slowly slides open. It doesn't really make any noise. You don't hear anything going on. And you pop out, I'm going to say, over in this area. You take a quick surveying of the area, and you can tell which part you're in this corridor that leads to 3 distinct areas of the ship. I'm going to put the ball over to you. What's going on?
I'm going to start heading towards the engine room.
Okay. So you're going to slowly, you make your way down sort of over here. I'd like you to make me a dexterity check.
All right, give me a sec.
You want to have some sex?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Nice.
I mean, again, I just did 5 minutes ago.
All right, so you stealthily, without making too much noise, pop out of this little chamber pod thing. And you make your way about halfway across the room till you get to right about here. I'm going to put the rest of you guys back over here too. You all unbuckle whatever kind of seatbelt it is that you've strapped yourself into. Oops. There's Jimmy, Ray, Bob, and there we go. Oh man, you guys are like stuck together doing a thing. Okay. Jaybird, you're next to get off the elevator.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up as well toward the engine room. That's
okay.
Our destination, so heading there.
I would also like you to make me a dexterity check. Now, you guys remember as you get off of this thing, you're in the area where you heard this gigantic beast. You're kind of, maybe this thing's going to pop out here somewhere. You know it's around here, so maybe you're trying to be quiet.
16.
That's not a problem. Jaybird, you can move yourself down. That puts me to Belazar. You pop out of the elevator, take a quick survey of the area, see that everybody's heading down to the engine room. Make me a dexterity check.
Twice again.
Wow. Okay. Well, that first one is a success. Zill, you're the last one off. You pop out of the. Why do we have so many characters
hatch.
here? Yeah.
I pop out of the back door. Huh?
Yep. Pop out of that hatch and make your move there, buddy.
Going down here with the rest of the folks. And I also reiterate that, hey, the ship is fixing to explode here. We need to hurry up and get these engines started so we can get out of here.
Belle, did you roll your... where does this guy go? This is the blip.
Bell rolled, but Dave, did you roll your sneak?
Oh, sorry, Dave. Yeah, you got to roll me a d20. You're trying to stealthily make your way to the back and try and be, somewhat subversive. 13.
That's not a problem. Shouldn't be 13.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh
gonna
no,
be...
maybe it may not be enough.
Well, it's not a success, but it's not a. You're within close enough perimeters that I'm going to say, my judgment, nothing happens. You stealthily make your way sort of halfway through this deal. We're going to go around the table one more time. I'm moving everybody up here as you make your way to the back. My threats, treats, and timers die is at a 1. Tensions are running hot, my friends. You feel the pressure of, like time is pressing in on you. You've got to get this ship going. Pressure's on. You're starting to sweat. You're kind of worried that there's this gigantic fucking beast back here that you're not quite sure what it is. So I want everybody to make me a constitution check. Or there's a possibility that you might shit your pants a little bit. Now, Jaybird, you're going to make this with a... no, I'm going to say that your +3 is with your shooting. So everybody make me a constitution check. If you don't succeed, the pressures are getting to you and you're going to snap, and it's going to make your next attempt a hard attempt. Worm Food makes it. See, Jaybird rolled a 4.
So that'll just be a regular attempt for me then.
Yeah, that would have been a regular attempt. You still get your easy attempt on your deal. Dave doesn't make it. Did Belle, is yours the 13?
The 13.
Okay, so everybody is under. You're all starting to feel the pressure, sneaking through the back corridor. You're looking around. You see the odd drag mark and maybe a bit of piece of corpse somewhere. The doom that is hanging out here it's oppressing. Everybody's going to, except for Worm, is going to make a hard check. I'm going to move you through this room, and you've seen this how you guys said you were heading to the engine room of this ship. Bada bing. Here we go. Right. You enter the engine room. In this engine room, you see to your right and to your left, you see the hyperdrive motors. There's 2 of them. Each one of these motors is connected to some kind of remote control device. Now, it doesn't matter which one of these things you use. They're both, there's just one on one side, one on the other. It was an ease of use thing. It's just the way that it's designed. It doesn't matter which one of these you control. Firing this up and getting the engine ready, you can use either one of these.
Quick, guys, the engine's already on. Let's get out of here.
Well, this is that soft glow that you saw. This is the engines were just in the warm-up phase. There's some beeps, some blips, some blurps going on. Maybe even one of these things down here, one of these little cables and cords is sparking and flashing a little bit. There might be some repair going on. You're not quite sure. But Worm Food, H2O slowly enters this room. You can hear like the boom. I can't even do it. Boom, boom, boom. This machine over here is making some kind of weird noise at the same time as this machine. It seems to be there's some kind of error or alert going on. Hello, Dave. Stace. Take your turn, Stace. Do your thing.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you now.
So so it sounds like we got to update that software or something. So I'm going to go ahead and work my way towards that.
Code red.
I'm going to make my way towards one of the consoles, and I'm going to try to do run a level 1 diagnostic.
All right, let's do it. So you make your way over there, not knowing the Torton language. Your next attempt is going to be hard and difficult, but you're like, fuck it, you know what? What have I got to lose?
Well,
let's go over here and push some buttons.
My next attempt's not going to be difficult because I'm awesome. I'm very relaxed.
Okay.
I'm the only one that didn't get the next attempt hard.
Oh, that's right. You're good. Yeah, you're feeling confident with yourself. You're like, hell yeah, I can.
And an 18.
18,
Wow.
not bad.
All right. So what you determine as you look at this thing is there is definitely some kind of break in one of the junction boxes between here and the front. This thing is reading some kind of weird code, JCC 21174, miscommunication, bridge not found. That's the gist of what you get. But that's okay. You work your way through the diagnostic screen and whatnot, and everything's kosher. You're looking at this thing, you're like, hey, that's pretty sweet. So roll me some basic effort, and let's see how much of this machine that you can recorrect while you're back here.
Well, effort is not the D20, is it?
No, it is not. Effort is going to be your basic effort, which is going to be D4.
All right, here we go.
All right, you're poking away at this thing. The beeping stops, and when the beeping stops, you've bypassed sort of level 1. Everything's looking cool. You did your 3 points of effort. You've punched in some numbers and some codes. Roll me perception.
And
18.
I don't need to add anything. That's good.
Okay, yeah, no, you're good.
This is how it's done, bitch. Are you watching?
What's that?
I was just telling these bitches they better watch. This is how you roll dice.
Oh, you were talking to your party.
We're taking notes.
We're taking notes. Okay, so what happens as you're poking the numbers? That beeping noise goes away. The thrum of the engines, you kind of get used to it a little bit, and you swear that you hear a noise coming from the back corner over here. That noise, you immediately recognize it as a reptoid mutant. It's way in the back, and the beeping noise when it shuts off triggers this thing. It sort of pops up and it lets out a squeal like, ah! What's going on? And you can hear this thing coming from the back corner over here. Immediately you're aware of this thing. You can hear it coming from behind the engine. Jaybird, because...
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry, go.
Oh, that's cool. Jaybird,
I would want to warn somebody, I guess, if I hear something coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk up to this panel and see if I can push the right buttons too.
All right.
I'm thinking it's like a copier. It looks like a copier at work, and it's got some kind of stupid error or some paper jam. You just kind of go through the menus. You just start, push buttons, try to make beeping stop.
Okay. You start smashing some buttons. Make me an intelligence check to see if you can't work your way through some of the code on this thing.
Smashing buttons. That's what my mom does every time she
I
watches
got
the TV.
no idea.
Because she can't see shit. She just smashes buttons. And on her cell phone also.
As you're smashing these buttons from around this corner over here, you're full on focusing on this machine. You roll that critical one. I don't know. Jaybird gets upset. He's like, fuck this thing. As soon as you start swearing and cursing at this piece of shit that you don't understand, you sort of look off to your left as this thing pops out from around the corner, lets out a squeal, and him and his buddies are coming like dead on.
And then with your critical one, it says, this ship will self-destruct in 10 seconds. Have a nice day.
Enjoy your life. That's going to put me around to Belazar. These guys pop out from around the corner. You see Jimmy. He's infuriated. Wow.
All right. So the one, they're not named. I'm going to shoot at the first Doombringer. Come on, hit.
Ooh, nice.
So 17, yeah. And because I hit, there's the first one. So
Yep.
that's 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hit, I now get to do it again. Okay. And 9 more points of damage on him.
Okay, and you hit the second time.
So, pew, pew,
Yeah.
right towards his head, because that's where he told me to shoot.
You did not read the card, Belle.
Oh, I thought it said if I hit.
It did. It says the exact wording is attached to any ranged weapon. If you score a hit, fire again.
Yeah.
You scored a
That's
hit.
what I did.
You fired again. You scored a hit. Fire again.
Oh!
There it is.
Oh my God, I get to do another one? Oh
Yeah.
boy. But is he dead?
How much damage did you do to this guy?
6 and then 9.
He would have
15.
Yeah, okay. This Doombringer is definitely dead. Yeah, 2
All right.
rapid shots. This thing explodes into a ball of piss and vinegar and disappears. Falls to the ground into a chunk. But you're still good to go.
And then I'm going to shoot at the other one.
You found a sweet-ass rapid-fire module. And you hit. Roll roll damage and ultimate. So that's going to be a 6 and a 12, and then add your 3.
12 and add my 3. So
that's going to be
4,
7 and 12, so 13. So yeah,
13.
Without hesitation, these things go down. Boom, boom. You're just letting off like it's just your rapid air. As soon as you pull the trigger back, you're ready to go. You did hit that one with a 20, so you can continue to fire. But alas,
do I see another one?
No, you don't. They seem to have.
Oh.
Wow. I think everybody.
But you still see.
I think everybody is pretty impressed with that. They don't know, all of a sudden you have this this sweet ass weird looking bow that they haven't seen with some kind of cool ass attachment to it. Yeah, you're just fucking rapid fire Jones kicking the shit out of stuff left, right, and center. I'm going to give you a hero token because that was pretty sweet. Dave, you're a little stunned by this, buddy. You're not quite sure what to make out. What just happened?
I'm impressed.
Right? That was like you just look over.
I'm
like,
just glad
what?
I'm on this side and I'm not on the other side. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. You can hear some noise from down in the back of the engine room. There seems to be you can't really tell how many left, but there's definitely some more of these things coming this way. You can hear them,
kind of reverberating between both entry points, right?
Yeah, that's right. They're advancing on you. There might be a couple of guys back in here you have to clean out.
Okay. Well, let's head over to the data machine.
Mm-hmm.
As I fall, I want to try to get everything. I want to get that gap, that connection that's broken, fixed.
Okay.
So we can get it going as everyone else is. And I'm saying, get these guys taken care of. I'll get everything. I'll get the engines back up and bridge the gap.
That's right. You will.
All right.
Okay. Access the machine. Roll me some wisdom. You start poking your way through this machine. You're going through the various layers of the command center. You're like, oh, this looks good. That looks good.
13. But I'm going to use my hero token to make that successful.
Yes, you are.
So I will go ahead and hit my D12.
Fantastic.
And
right.
you can take my token. So that will be on top of 13, a 10, so 23.
Wow.
Is that successful?
That is absolutely 100% successful. You're working your way down through this command pad. And at first you're looking at this thing, you're like, man, I don't really quite understand what this shit's going on here. Why is there errors and stuff like that? But as you delve deeper into this machine, boop, 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 you're pushing buttons, information's flying out at you. You see this one command pop up that's like Nanobot Repair Center. And you're like, fuck. So you press that button, and somewhere down the ship, you can see on a display up in the corner, these nanobots come out. And this little sort of weird black cube of a machine pops out and sends off this little repair droid. It reaches up and makes this sort of quick attachment where the ship has sort of torn one of these cables apart. You can see it through the machine. You're watching as it repairs itself. And sure as shit, man, within a matter of seconds, this little swarm of nanobots pops out of this black little box and repairs the connection between the back and the front of the bridge. And You have done it. You have successfully regained control of the ship's engines and the
I
navigation.
hit engage.
Yeah, you can work your way back out, right to the button that says make the ship do what you tell it to do. And you've already punched in the coordinates. Now it's time to fire up the engines, buddy. You press that button.
Oh, for sure. And as I hit it, I'm like, guys, we got to go. And I hit it. And I'm sure you feel the ship rumble and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. The engines start
as
to
it
engage.
Engages.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then there's just a soft, smooth, deep thrum. It's going to take. I'd like you to roll me a D4, Dave.
Wow. Bad. One's good on effort, right?
All right. Yeah, the propulsion systems on these ships, this, as soon as you press that, you're looking at the command, and there is like, I want to say a 1-round timer, but there's, that just seems.
If I just killed us all, then that would be a great finish. Then I mean, we tried.
Okay, well, we could go that
route.
It's
up to you. I mean,
I want to at least give you an attempt to get out of here. So you smash the button. You feel the engines power up. Everybody's like, man, we need to fucking go. There's a countdown timer on here, and you're pretty sure that as you're reading it, this in Torton, you've got like literally like seconds to get off the ship. Maybe 1 minute. Let's say that. You've got 1 minute to get off of this ship. You've got these reptoids coming out from behind. This one makes its way out over here somewhere. But yeah, you start yelling. You're like, boys, we gots to go. Countdown initiated, 60 seconds to get off this ship. These Doombringers come around the corner, and they start letting out. And then this
female voice is counting down, right? 60, 59, 50. Oh, yeah.
Damn straight.
We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
56.
The funny part is you just want to sit here and listen to the thing count down because it's such a sweet, soft, gentle
It's
voice,
mesmerizing.
right? You
yeah.
feel at peace. You feel at one. All of you are calm and comforting except for these things. These two Doombringers, as they come out, you see their heads crack back and their mouths open wide. This long tongue comes out. And it starts wiggling in this weird sort of vibrational way, and you're not really quite sure what it means. But both of them have paused, and they're sitting there doing this weird, what you can only assume is some kind of communication. So I'm going to say that they're stunned. Everybody is on board with me just sort of moving you ahead to the next kind of a deal? You're all
let's
just
do
gonna,
it.
Yeah, we
Right.
run out of there.
You're like, F this place, it's bullshit, and we're out of here. You make your way into the rear corridor. You sort of step out of the engine room. I'm on the wrong side of the table. And you walk out into this room. In the corner of this room, this is the room that you were just in, there is a shuttle. That shuttle will take you back to where you need to be. These guys are not in this room. The shuttle is... Where's red? It doesn't really matter what side of the map we put you on. I'm going to say that you guys are walking out of the engine room, which is right here. The shuttle is in this corner of the room, and you need to make it there. But as you all walk out of this room, you're like, man, what the fuck is that? Where is that fucking thing? I think it's... Oh, that's right. I reset the thing, so I got to look it up. Won't take me 2 seconds. REP, rep, guard.
Reptar.
Right. Standing between you and this pod is this gigantic frickin' reptoid. I'm gonna put this all the way up to here because it is a 50 hit point creature. Now I'm gonna give you a quick description of what this thing actually looks like. The Reptoid Gargantuan. This thing is a mutated mash of mechanical parts and multiple reptoids sort of all balled into one. You can tell by looking at this thing that it was at one point, some of it might have been in the armory. There's some of them were like melee warriors, but they're just this one gigantic ball. This thing has this, what looks like an energy cannon put in the center of it. You see this little center core thing. It's kind of lit up, glows a bit red. It has a long, deadly tail. It can reach, like, from where it's standing, you could tell that tail could sort of whip back here and get you from where it's at. It's got this long, black, serrated blade. And looking at it, you can tell that this is the thing that made that huge scratch. This tail is deadly. It is made of this super dark, hard material. Right now it's currently dragging across the ground. This thing must have heard you when you snuck by. At the last moment, you guys might have got into the room, but it's out sort of peeking around. You can see the drag marks come from over here. And yeah, this thing is blocking your way. This is the big bad evil guy, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for this? You need to somehow figure out how you are going to get past this guy in the next 60 seconds, make it into the pod, and have the pod take you to the docking bay. At which point, you know there's suits there that you saw that you'll be able to get into, and everybody will live happily ever after. But you got to get past this guy first. So, now that I've laid out the terms, let's do this. H2O, you're the first one up.
All right, so there's no way I can just sprint. Yeah, and this is a shuttle, right? So I'm going to try to sprint right in through the front of the shuttle.
Okay, so you are somewhere back here at the entranceway, and even if you sprint, you'll be able to make it 12 across. Ish.
I mean, but I could go on the other side of the shuttle bay, right?
Sure can. You can absolutely go this way. There's nothing stopping you from abandoning your friends and running off in the other direction. The choice is yours.
Bay, what I understand is this is the shuttle bay, this center thing. That's the shuttle.
That is just a column. That's all that is.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a substructural column that keeps the roof and the floor from compacting together.
Oh, I get it. So the monster itself is in front of the shuttle.
Yeah, let me do
got
this.
It. Okay,
got it. I have a thing that will represent the shuttle bay. Let's just drop this barrel down here. Let's put this gigantic size up against the wall. It's kind of like you guys got to hop into the keg for reference. Oops.
All right, so here's what I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to sprint. I'm going to just run past this thing.
Okay.
I'll let it take a shot at me, and I'll hope that my speed plus my incredible thick armor will be enough to run right past this thing.
Okay.
Maybe even draw its attention a bit.
All right, so you sprint and you'll end up in this area here. You can choose to put yourself sort of anywhere in and amongst those arrows. It's about how far you're going to make it.
I'll just go right here. I know that's within tail distance, but it'll get me there.
Works for me. We're not being too precise. We go over to shit. What the hell? Where is Jimmy? Jaybird.
Okay, yeah, I'll move up and then start firing my pistol as I run forward. We gotta get to that shuttle, boys.
Okay, I'll.
It's about there, I guess, is what I can get.
Yeah. So 6 would be your normal move, but you can sprint if you don't want to take an extra action. Right? You can put yourself anywhere in there. So what happens when you get there? Are you doing a thing? What are you doing?
Yep. I shoot my pistol, so that's an 18 on the roll.
Okay.
That's a hit.
Yep. I should have changed the room difficulty, but we'll leave it at 14 just for shits and giggles. Two plus what is that? 3. So you hit it for 5 points.
And then 6 points. And then 9 points. So 11 altogether.
11
As I-
points altogether.
Fire
Alright.
3 times as I'm running forward.
Yeah, 3
And that'll be
shots right into the bulk of this thing. You can describe what that looks like. You make your way up to there. We're going to go over to Belle. Belazar.
Okay, I am going to go up. Let's see, I guess. See if I can see myself easier. Where the heck am I?
You're the dumbass looking one.
There I am.
Wow. Wow.
I'm going to come up 6, and I am going to activate the tentacle pod. I'm going to throw the tentacle pod over next to the creature and activate that. So I guess I need to roll a 1d4.
Is this another thing that you got?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Activate to summon
4.
it.
So now I have a giant tentacle that's fighting next to the creature, and I'm going to yell into the speaker for only the people that are in my party to hear, go around the back way. Just
Okay.
run around the other direction.
Wow.
I'll
So,
head
so yeah, you can.
This way.
What does that look like? Explain this tentacle thing.
There is this huge tentacle. Let's see if I can get the screen back there again. Activate and summon a giant tentacle for 1d4 rounds, and I managed to get it for all 4 rounds. So it's going to sit there, and it's as big as the creature and fighting the creature.
Wow.
So it
That
has its attention when it'll give us a chance to sneak around the back way.
That just grows up and around the floor like it makes itself out of parts and bits. Some sort of weird, fleshy looking tentacle in a jar kind of thing. All right, yeah, it's smashing and crashing with the tentacles. Now that thing, does it say that it has hit points or anything like that? Just for 4 rounds. So after 4 rounds,
It has an intelligence of 12.
those are different stats for different things. So activate to summon a giant tentacle for
Yeah,
1d4 rounds. Let me look up tentacle and see tentacle. Because it's going to do a different thing. Giant tentacle has to be
as long as it gets its attention.
Has to be a monster somewhere.
Well,
Dave?
it has the word tickle in it.
Mhm.
Tenticle. So maybe it just tickles him.
There we go. Giant tentacle. This is page 112.
Wraps around him and holds him, maybe.
Sure. Dave, I'm going to...
Very Lovecraftian.
There we go. Control.
Waka
C.
waka waka.
You're up, Dave. What are you doing?
I would like to run within a near range, and I would like to cast a spell.
All right. Let her rip.
I would like to cast Freeze. And Freeze emits a cloud of freezing cold to near range, immobilizing enemies for 1d4 rounds.
Oh my god. Okay. Let her rip, buddy. Belle,
right.
here is the giant tentacle. This is essentially what you have summoned. Where are you? You're over here. I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to lock this right here so you can have a peek at it. That is what your giant tentacle does. It has 2 hearts, and it just does some things.
13?
13 is not enough, Dave, but you do have a hero coin. You might want to make this spell work.
You know what? I think it's going to work now.
All right. It's 1 off, so I'll take your hero coin off of your deal, and we'll call that an automatic success. Describe what your spell looks like.
Yeah. So as the cone of cold engulfs the creature, ice just kind of slams up from the floor and puts it into this giant ice cube. So do I need to do a 4-sided for how many rounds?
You sure do.
This is an important roll.
Yes, you gotta 3 rounds.
3 rounds. So as this happens and a massive amount of ice, engulfs this creature, I yell, "Now get to the ship!" I say, "Get to the chopper!" and we should have a clear path all the way to the escape pod now. as this thing is engulfed in ice.
I would have to agree. I'm going to lump you guys
Sorry
all
to
up.
thwart your plan, GM Gary.
Well, that's, these things happen, buddy. You walk around the one side of this thing. The giant tentacle is smashing into this thing. It's pulverizing the ice. Bits and shit of this ice cube are flying off. It's breaking away. Every once in a while, you can hear the reptoid making noise from inside of it. But yeah, between the tentacle and this reptoid duking it out, you guys have nothing but time to get over and into the round brown barrel of portalness. This portal will take you back to the docking bay. You get off, you run into the docking bay. You have plenty of time to get into your EVA suits. You walk over to the door, press the giant red button. Kapsh! The door opens up, and the lot of you float out into space. You're probably all going to have to take a running start. You would figure that out. So, one by one, push. You just take this leap and you float into space towards the warp shell. Each of you in a collective group, maybe you've tied yourselves off. I don't know. But as soon as you leap free of this ship, you're floating around. You've got maybe 10 seconds. You leap out, and the ship was once there. The engines fire up. And it just takes off. It just goes ripping. Immediately as you watch this ship sort of fly off towards the dark cosmic evil star of doom and destruction, you turn around to see the warp shell. It's appeared right next to you. It's making its way over. The doors open up. You guys can all hop into the warp shell. And inside of a heartbeat, 1 minute you're sitting there sort of looking out the windows of the ship. You're not even out of your EVA chutes, and you can hear the thrum of the warp shell kick in, and you just sort of blink into warp space, whoomp, and you're gone. You don't get to see what happens. You realize that the warp shell is trying to save your life. If you guys stick around, this thing's going to be like cosmic death and destruction. So it blinked you into warp space to get you out of here. But because the warp shell blinked you into space, you know that whatever it was you were trying to do was successful, and you guys managed to fly the last flight of the Red Sword. Congratulations, everybody. You've managed to successfully do it.
Oh!
Oh!
All right.
Awesome. Thanks for running that.
Good job.
It's a
Awesome
game.
game, Gary.
You can shoot
It was
down,
fun.
fade to
Yeah.
black, skaboosh. And that is the last flight of the Red Sword, everybody.
And then
Fantastic.
I take off my gear and I go in my room where it's private and I reach in my pockets and I look to see how many coins and how many gems I got.
Oh, yeah, it's all
Along
yours.
with my new pretty ring.
Yeah, you definitely have some cool equipment, that's for sure. Did you guys get a chance to peek at and see what Belle found when she was fucking around down there? The hydraulic
did.
barricade. She got
I
the
cheated
rapid
and looked
fire
at
it.
module. What does the ring do when worn? Any fire
It's the
damage done to
Fire
you heals
damage,
you?
right?
Yeah, heals instead of heals
Wow.
you
Heals
instead of getting
instead of
fire.
hurts.
I
Yeah.
saw that. I was like, that's
Oh,
nice.
that's kind of nice.
Save that for a rainy day, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like
Right?
to set myself on
Yeah.
fire whenever I felt bad.
Wow. I'm glad you guys got
Oh.
through that. That was pretty good. We've got some finality to it. You made a giant tentacle monster appear. Dave, man, you were on a fucking hot roll, buddy. You were rolling left, right, and center. That was sweet.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
that was fun. Super fun.
All right. Well,
It's nice to play, Gary. Thanks, man.
yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm going to kill the stream,